Welcome to the Horror Junkies Podcast, the podcast that discusses all things horror. I'm your host, Mike, and as always, I am joined by my best buds, Pat and Dylan.
Sup, horrors?
Hey.
Don't mind us. We're just grooving, getting in the mood for you guys for this episode.
We're just cleaning our room, you know?
Yeah. Just vibe with us for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jesse and his dancing bedroom scene. Oh, God. What a great fucking piece of cinematic masterpiece from Nightmare on Elm Street 2. But welcome back to another episode, guys. We're continuing our journey on the Nightmare on Elm Street marathon, leading up to a phenomenal finale that we're just so excited to share with you, but not right now. If you know where we may be taking this, props to you, but keep it to your fucking self. We got a fun show planned for you guys. But before we get into all of that, we shouted out Patreon before we started the episode. And we just want to keep promoting that because we got a lot of cool content that we're making for that website. I think some of them right now, they got Patrick's friend Dan, right? Dan, Pat?
Yep.
Yeah. They got his behind the scenes take on Nightmare on Elm Street 2, and they just got an after hours podcast episode from us reading creepypasta. So a lot of cool shit coming over to the Patreon. So again, we appreciate your guys' support, and you know, if you want to join, it takes $3 and it goes a long way. I promise you. A lot of snacks are purchased.
It goes a long way to making me miserable.
Yeah. Remember, if we can get up to 10 paid subscribers, Dylan has to watch fucking Terrifier 2. We're going to live stream live at Patrick's house with a pre-game Olive Garden experience as well. So make it fucking happen, guys. I really don't know what else to do to promote that, but we really want this to happen.
I will sell my body for nickels and dimes.
There ain't nothing wrong with that.
We are 7 subscribers away from making me do something I don't want to do. And I wish the number was a little higher. And every time you send me, because every time we get one, they send it to me. And each one's a harder slap in the face. Listen, y'all, darkness falls across the land. The midnight hour is close at hand. It's going to happen. And I'm happy that you're giving us your schmeckles and dimes and pesos and fucking, euro dollars and whatnot. But I know that the pot of gold at the end of this rainbow will be a little more sour for me than anyone else. But you know what? If it brings our listeners joy to hear me squirm and scream and cry, I guess that's fine.
Brings me joy. So
it brings me joy.
I'm glad both of you masochist fucking bastards are going to have a fantastic time listening to me vomit, squeak, squelch, and writhe.
Look, man,
fuck you.
You did Tokyo Gore Police, so a Terrifier 2 is like a walk in the park in that point.
Yeah, man.
It can't be.
It is.
Here's the thing, though. You know how your brain blocks out traumatic experiences?
You don't remember?
I don't remember much of Tokyo Gore Police, honestly. I remember like the girl whose legs were the giant mouth. And then I remember the beginning. Then I remember the bottom, the first scene where that woman's just cutting her wrist for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I already have such a fucking fucked up thing about razors and shit and veins and stuff, which Dream Warriors will get to that fucking thing that I didn't expect.
That would have been a good segue. Fuck. Fuck the news. Let's go straight to the movie.
Segue, man. Damn.
What?
Talking about
Tokyo Gore Police. Yeah.
Tokyo Gore Police, fucked up veins, things going into Dream Warriors. But hey,
God. I don't even want to think about it. I just had a bunch of oysters at my family's house and we'll throw up. Stop.
I think I want to get the Gator Puss lady as a tattoo on my leg.
Gator Puss? Is that her official name?
Calling her.
That's what it was.
Yeah, dude.
Gator Puss?
Technically
that's kind of a cool name, I guess.
Yeah.
Try it.
All right.
You may die.
That sounds like someone's like backwoods Cajun uncle.
Yeah.
No, they call me Gator Puss. No. Okay.
Bro, listen to your brother. I want them out there in the woods. Gator Puss.
He's got one of them like things in his one of those things in his throat.
What's going on, guys?
They call me Gator Puss. I'm out here with the Freddys.
Like, oh, gross.
We should start a slug metal band and call it Gator.
Awesome,
And that's
dude.
all
I'm
of
down.
our vocal. All of the vocals are just like
That.
with that fucking sound effect attached. Everything is just horribly robotic.
Someone hit up Maggot Stomp. We'll do a body box Gator Puss.
Someone get Harry
To
from
her.
Body Box on the phone right now.
Jesus Christ.
Pat, call him up.
I am. I'm ready to text him.
But yeah, no, we got a fun episode planned for you guys. If you're on our journey and you're watching these movies with us, I really hope that you're watching these movies with us. Tell us what you're thinking, because I like to think that once you watch 1, 2, and 3, you're up at the highest point of the roller coaster. And then from there on, you're on a 90-degree drop straight to hell. The way these movies just change in atmosphere and style and writing is just absolutely bonkers, in my opinion. But before we get into any of that, as always, Patrick, what the fuck is going on in the world of the news?
Here's a bit of news that's been taking 28 years in the making.
Oh, brother.
We're finally... This is the best news I've had all year. We're getting a sequel to 28 Days Later the title's called 28 Years Later.
Oh, my God.
And
So
Danny Boyle and I forgot the other guy's name. Alex
Garland.
Garland are coming back to write, produce, and direct.
Oh, thank God.
They said
So
if this next one is successful, they have a trilogy planned. Which I'm
Oh,
like,
man.
fuck, yes, please.
But it already
So-
is a trilogy.
Well, no,
Yes.
they're going to do 3 more movies. If this one
But
is successful,
also, I
What?
think 28 weeks later and 28, what's the other one?
28
there's
days.
only 28
20
days and 20 weeks.
What?
yeah,
What do
I
you mean? What's the other one?
Brother, I don't know. I thought there was like 28 months, you know? Like
It's
we're keeping all
20
this-
something. I can't quite put my finger on it.
I can't put my finger on. So this is a sequel to 28 Days Later. So is it retconning 28 weeks, or is 28 weeks supposed to be taken as a separate?
Well, no,
storyline
because if you
in
think
the
about
mix of things,
but that's weird.
What?
I mean,
That's
it would
weird.
Not too much, because 28 weeks later. I'm saying, I don't think they're going to retcon anything. I think it would be because Cillian Murphy. I think they're talking about bringing him back.
I mean, they should. He has an Oscar now.
I mean, he does.
that Oscar.
Well, he doesn't have an Oscar yet.
He has an Emmy. He's
He has
going
an
to win
Emmy
the Oscar.
or a Golden Globe or whatever that is.
Yeah,
my prediction is he will win Best Actor because his performance in Oppenheimer was phenomenal.
See, I'm throwing a curveball on my prediction, so I
do you
wouldn't be
think?
shocked. I'm picking Bradley Cooper.
For Maestro?
Mm-hmm.
That's a fuck yeah, dude, because that was a phenomenal movie.
Yeah, my God.
Man.
When you write, produce, direct, and star, he's
And
winning
it's your-
something for that movie. He's got to.
Yeah.
But if it's Cillian Murphy, I'll understand. I'll
Well,
I would like to see Cillian Murphy for Best Actor and Bradley Cooper for Best Director.
that'd be cool.
yeah.
I think that if Oppenheimer wins an award, I know we're off topic, but
That's fine.
I would like to see it go to Best Actor, and I'd like to see Bradley Cooper win Best Director because I think directorially, Maestro is a better film than Oppenheimer.
Oh, that's tough though. Better than Christopher Nolan?
Listen, I like Christopher Nolan, but I think that I enjoyed Maestro a lot more than I enjoyed Oppenheimer. And I just recently watched Oppenheimer for the first time.
Oh.
So
I went to the
anyways,
theater and saw it,
yeah,
so
it's back in theaters actually.
oh, I'm not shocked.
But I would like to see Cillian Murphy come back, but I'd also like to see if this is a direct sequel, as they're talking like it's a sequel to 28 Days Later. It does question like what's going to happen with 28 weeks later.
My prediction, since both director and producer are coming back to do it, I would hope that they continue, because in the end of 28 Days Later, he spoiler alert, but he survives.
Dude, you can't just do that.
And I would like to see the continuation of I forgot Jim's story from the first movie. I fucking
It all makes sense now.
Yeah, I for me, this is the best news because I've been waiting for a sequel from 28 Weeks Later. Because that was also a really good one, even though Danny Boyle hadn't. I don't think he was involved at all with the.
I don't think
second
he
one.
was. No.
But I mean, it's a completely different story with different characters. That fucking opener, man, for 28 Weeks Later, is the fucking best.
Oh my God.
And,
I'll never forget. I'll never forget renting that from Blockbuster and watching it with my family. And my dad's just sitting there and he's like, is something going to fucking happen? And then he goes into the church and those two zombies fucking turn around and just look at you. Oh my God.
In my humanity
To this
class,
to this day.
to this day.
I did a whole 8-page essay for college for that whole opener for 28 Days Later.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of things they had to do to fucking even to do that because it was such a low budget movie.
Oh,
and these guys are now like, these guys have Oscars on their fucking mantle. They've done great movies since.
Cillian Murphy is, God, Peaky Blinders.
Yeah.
Everything he does is phenomenal.
I'm saying
Red
also
Eye,
with Danny Boyle
Red
too.
Eye,
Yeah.
I mean, Alex Garland has that Civil War movie coming out, correct?
Yeah.
With the same director. Yeah.
Here's the thing. I don't know if that movie's going to be good, but I'm going to go see it just to see Jesse Plemons.
No, yeah.
His character looks fucking awesome. Also, Nick Offerman. That's going to be really, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I will say it does make sense that it's a sequel to 28 Days Later because 28 weeks and days, they're two different characters, two different stories.
Yeah.
So if you're going to continue Cillian Murphy's character story, then it makes sense.
Yeah. And that's what I'm hoping for.
I'm also like again, we haven't seen this. It's been 20 years in the making. They waited. They're like, we're gonna wait 20 years to make another sequel.
I think this warrants that after we finish our entire giant marathon finale thing that we're leading up to, I think it warrants we do a 28 Days Later movie episode. I don't know if I want to do 28 Weeks Later in the same. I feel like you can just spend an entire episode talking about 28 Days Later because of how like just revolutionary it was for like it being like not zombies, more like virus inflicted people.
Yeah, but it also
opening up that in discussion of like what's a zombie, what's not a zombie. So I think that the next movie that we'll do after this round is going to be 28 Days Later.
I would love that. I recently tried to look for it on any streaming website. I could not find it.
Not a problem. Maybe we will buy that shit later. Physically.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I am designing for my living room right now, custom shelving, more so in my head than physically on a computer, but it'll get there one day.
I'm designing like me.
Listen, I'm going to design a bookshelf and then over the TV connected VHS and Blu-ray 4K thing. Yeah. It's more important now than ever to get your movies physically now.
Yep.
Because when you think about it, you buy digital video games for the convenience, but you don't own that video game. You own the license to that game until they take it away, and then you do not get to play that game anymore.
Correct. That is correct. I was actually going to mention that when you were talking about this, and we're like Patrick bringing up the fact that you can't find it anywhere to stream. You guys if you're not a big physical media collector, I highly suggest picking up these movies that you love on some type of physical format because it's going to become a time where like licensing fees go away or they expire and they lose that and then no one else purchases it. But I agree. And I also like stop buying these ultra high def 4K restorations of old horror movies, man. I feel like they look better in their original format. Pick them up, man. You can go and get these, Freddy films on DVD for fucking cheap at thrift stores, on eBay. Like, I feel like all of these movies, like when they revamp them and give them a nice glow up, they lose that charm that's in the old movie. I wanted.
Does Nightmare have a steel box or screen box?
I'm sure. Arrow not Arrow. There's an entire like Nightmare on Elm Street 7 or 8 disc collection because I think they may throw in the remake in there, like box set that's come out. It's like $300 or something like that.
Yeah, if horror is a major part of your life and your personality, put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah,
Screen box, Shout Factory, A24, Arrow Films. they all do really, really incredible, not just restorations, but the packaging that comes with it, the extra features. You'll never get those type of extra features and interviews from any sort of streaming service. And I believe the last Blu-ray 4K thing I ordered, even though I already owned it on 2K Blu-ray, because I got the Best Buy Steelbook special edition of it, I ordered the American Werewolf in London 4K from Arrow. And you got a lot of cool shit with it. And then on top of that, all the extra fucking cool features. And the movie looks gorgeous. I'm even considering investing in a separate Blu-ray player.
Oh, yeah?
Not the consoles. Yeah, because they can only go so far. But your physical Blu-ray players, I'm thinking of investing in one.
I watched a guy, and this will probably get us in trouble, but he pirates. He doesn't pirate anything. What he does is he records everything that he watches on Netflix, HBO Max. This dude has like drawers filled with VHS tapes of like Adventure Time, Aqua Team Hunger Force, movies. Like he has a setup in his place where he's just straight recording everything that he watches, because he knows that like you're just paying for a license fee. Like you do not own that movie or that video game. So he just downloads it onto like VHS or DVD files.
That's kind of cool though. I would love to see like a Black Mirror episode on like a VHS.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
I mean, Plex. Have y'all ever messed with Plex before?
No.
I had a homie who shall remain nameless. Let's say his name is Tony Ravioli. Tony Ravioli would upload movies before they came out to VOD that are sometimes still in the theater. And he would upload them and I would watch them on Plex. You can like take digital content and put it into a Plex account. That way, wherever you go, as long as you have a Plex app or you have like on your thing, you can access your whole ass like digital library from there. But also we need to make Target and Best Buy and all these companies regret getting rid of physical media.
I agree 100%.
We need to do that.
It's a fun thing to collect.
Start writing now.
And like I have like, you don't have to, if you're big on like I keep still books. If it's like paperback, remember those old ones that had like the little plastic thing in the cardboard, you just clipped it. They were like the shittiest fucking covers. Like I have a giant DVD case that I just had, like a fucking CD case, holds 350 discs. That I just throw all my DVDs and Blu-rays in. Mm-hmm. I only keep like any steelbook DVDs that I bought. But yeah, I don't know. We got on this tangent, but it's important. I think that we're living in a weird time where everything
we hiked our pants
is consumed digitally, and I think a lot of people are starting to realize that they purchase things and it goes away and they don't have access to it. And they're like, what the fuck? I bought this. And it's like, no, you bought the right to stream it. You didn't you don't own it. Like when you buy a physical copy of a game.
Well, PlayStation just went through this whole weird thing about that shit, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, we really hiked our pants up and said, the AI is going to take your Exorcist 3 away from you. You got to buy it physical.
Speaking of Exorcist,
Dylan.
Yes. I'm gonna rub my hands like Birdman real quick.
Hold on now.
Oh man. Listen, y'all, I don't want to say we did it, but we did it. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. We got him. And listen, I don't want to sit here and we're joking. We don't want to sit here and revel in somebody losing their job. That's not what we're doing. But at the same time, the 3 times in a row, this man has fucked up. He's ruined the Halloween
4 times.
Why?
Are you counting them by movies or just like because he had 3 Halloween movies and an Exorcist?
But the first Halloween that he did was good. At least I thought it was.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know what?
But
I apologize.
The last 2 Halloweens and Exorcist Believer was really a descent into a pool full of syringes and dog shit. And now David Gordon Green is no longer directing the next Exorcist movie, whatever that'll be.
Evil dies tonight.
God.
Yes.
Literally.
Evil does indeed die tonight.
Like, dude, I am so glad a studio executive was like, you're done. dude, you cannot do this anymore. You're costing us money. And that's, let's be honest, that's what it came down to.
3 strikes.
They
you
did
out.
not make a return on investment from that $400 million purchase to get the rights to make this fucking movie.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting to see who gets attached to this program.
James Wan.
No, get the fuck out of here. I'll be so mad. Night Pool was a trash. People need to get off this fucking James Wan. I'm a rant. Where's my fucking soapbox? People get off the James Wan train. He does not make or produce good movies. Prove me wrong, please.
He has once or twice.
Once or twice. That's it. He's done. He's been tapped out. He can never do it again. But dude, I'm really excited to see who comes into this project.
Yeah, I love Malignant, dude.
All right.
Listen, we got to see who he really was with Malignant. Everything else is just money, money, money. Because you do need money to fund your projects, to do your things. But I don't know. I don't want James Wan to go anywhere near it.
No.
You know, so one of you nerds. Well, one of you nerds mentioned Guillermo del Toro already, because of course y'all did. But also, and I mean, I mentioned Freddy Alvarez last week, but
Yeah.
he would be another good person to tackle this week.
Mike
or
Flanagan would be
this
phenomenal.
movie.
I think
And
Mike
look,
Flanagan could do a good job.
Yeah. We need to get more familiar with other directors as well. But I mean, you know,
the guy who did, I think the person who did, I'm thinking like possession films that were really good. Someone who did like, not Bone Woman, because it's not really possession, but it was on my list. Sister Death, that director would do a fantastic job.
Oh yeah.
What if Sam Raimi did it?
Even
That'd be
that,
cool.
like Sam Raimi would fucking kill it, dude.
That would be interesting.
Or who
who
was
did
the director of My Mother's Eyes?
Oh,
The Eyes of My Mother.
Yeah, that would be fucking.
God, that's a 2016. That was Nicholas Peace.
Yeah.
That would be another good director. I mean, there's so many good.
Get someone that's
people
like
that could tap
an
into this.
indie director or like a newcomer.
Yeah.
Like to do a
the guy that
Go.
The guy that did the movie The Hole in the Ground.
Mhm.
I think he would be. I think he would be good. I think he also did that Antlers movie.
Yeah.
Which was disappointing, but
It had potential.
it had potential, and it wasn't completely terrible.
No.
Although I do think that the mythos of a Wendigo deserves a really good movie,
It does.
just because of how interesting the lore is.
Yeah.
And also don't make a Native American mythos story with a white savior complex attached to it, but that would be my thing, because also Guillermo del Toro produced that.
Yeah.
So
at least that
Yeah, we
was
can't talk
there's
bad about
somewhat
it.
of melanin and their skin tone that was a part of that.
Yeah.
You speak of Wendigo, and I just kind of want to bring up something right now. One of my favorite podcasts, Creepy, which is a podcast that reads creepypastas and other cool stuff, did recently, a couple of days ago, a story that's called A Walk in the Woods, and it's about a skinwalker.
really,
Dude, it is terrifying. The sound effects that he added to this episode are bone crunching and wrenching. So check that shit out. I think I promoted it like as soon as he dropped it. I posted it on our Instagram and shit. But if you're into that and you want a weird, creepy story about a skinwalker in the woods, go to Creepy on the Spotify or wherever the hell you listen to your podcast.
you're gonna have to
And
link
listen
me.
to A Walk in the Woods, and I'll put it in our show notes so you guys can easily find it, and I'll send it to you in the group.
Yeah,
chat.
that'd be great.
But in other news, really fucking funny. Not that we're ever going to probably try this, but who knows? It's related to our episode that we're doing. There is now officially a Nightmare on Elm Street G Fuel drink. Apparently, it was like hinted at like last year, and it never really happened. But now, apparently, you can go to certain select stores that I do not know, that are not mentioned in this article, and you can buy, some Nightmare on Elm Street game fuel and fucking fill your nightmares while you're playing like Dead by Daylight. Like, how much fun is that? You can't get more meta than that.
Yeah, Kyle.
Drinking
Punch a hole in your
nightmare.
wall. Drink some
Yeah,
G
dude.
Fuel.
Fucking drink some G Fuel.
Call your mom
Punch
a
a
bitch.
hole in the wall. Play some video games. Get banned from the lobby.
Call your mom a bitch and then drink up.
Just drink up. I wonder if it's red. Do you think it's red?
I hope it's
Because
I hope it's red and
they have a
green.
really bad promo video, like, but it doesn't like showcase like what the drink actually looks like. And if it's not like a red flavored drink, I'm going to be seriously upset.
I'm telling you, they're listening. The people out there, the shadow people, the higher ups, and the big
Illuminati.
corpse, they're tuned into the horror junkies.
Bigfoot.
They're tuned into the horror junkies because not only did the writers for Saw X leave the project and now they're not writing the next Saw movie, and not only did David Gordon Green get fired, but also G Fuel said the boys are doing a whole Freddy Krueger thing. Let's pop these gamer dorks with some fucking crack juice, slap some red and green stripes on the can, and fucking
Literally.
let them continue to not get laid and touch boobs. I'm just kidding, y'all. I ain't touching boobs either. Don't worry about it.
It's a tart fruit punch flavor now available for purchase as a 40 serving tub in a limited edition collector's box, which also includes a 24-ounce G Fuel, a Nightmare on Elm Street stainless steel shaker cup.
Damn.
Can you just buy the shaker cup?
No.
Fuck.
Damn it. Hey Dylan, you can
Capitalism really popped off with this one today, boys.
Hey Dylan, you can touch your own boobs and it still counts.
It still counts.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
X-rated.
It's not the
Horror
same.
Junkies.
No one needs to touch boobs when they're playing Cyberpunk trying to save Night City one day at a time, all right?
True.
Horror Junkies at night.
Ooh, she's back.
Is there anything else, Pat? It's actually, I mean, besides that Abigail trailer, I don't know if you guys watched that.
I saw that. That looks cool.
That movie looks crazy.
We
that
got
fucking vampire movie that's coming out.
yeah. We also got some official photos of Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire, and we got the boys back in their jumpsuits. That was cool to see.
The boys.
What?
Dude,
Like Bill Murray and Dan
Yeah, they're
Aykroyd?
back in the suit. Yeah.
Listen,
you didn't see the photos?
No, I've seen
movie,
them.
Yeah, the movie looks like shit, but I'm excited to see them back.
Well, Ghostbusters Afterlife was really well. I actually was very surprised at how good
Same.
it was.
yeah.
I agree. I have to.
But please stop asking them to put those jumpsuits on.
They've done enough. Okay.
Bill Murray doesn't want to do it. Quit giving him more money than he can refuse. Like, leave them alone.
he's like
Let
the Harrison
them
Ford.
go. It's like, well, yeah, let them go.
Yeah.
But
they
don't do
literally
it.
just
Don't
did
do a
Indiana
Ghostbusters
Jones.
reboot. Like, don't ever do that again.
Yeah.
You keep Paul Feig away from a camera. His house should be court ordered to be searched for any sort of camera. Like, he can't even have a smartphone because it's got a camera on it. He has a court ordered jitterbug fucking phone and anything like all notepads, all pencils and pens. It's illegal for him to have them.
Damn it.
I thought there was a trailer for it already because I've seen some scenes from the new movie.
There's a trailer.
Yeah, there's a
There's
trailer.
I
definitely
haven't
a trailer.
watched the entire trailer yet, but you know what? I liked Afterlife a lot. I'll give this one a shot. It won't be
You
a
just
theater
explained
watch.
to me how Ghost bring an ice age, and you got me on board. So,
Ice ghosts.
It's
done.
It's
I'm on.
Ghostbusters on ice. There you go.
It's what it is.
Did they
It's
ever do
setting
that?
up- no, but this is setting it up for a Ghostbusters.
Oh
on Ice.
man, do they still do the on ice stuff anymore? I know we brought it up a couple of episodes ago, but
No, I mean Disney does. I think that's the only real thing. But I think more and more people should do it.
yeah,
Listen, could you imagine Evil Dead on ice?
I'd love to see it
I'm here
because
for it.
all you
Let's
need
write
is
it.
the cabin,
All
and you know what? They could build
The
it to
cabin on
where
ice.
it's the cabin. But it's the cabin, but it's got handles on it, and some people on skates come out and like open up the cabin, and then you get an inside shot of the house,
Oh.
and then you can close it back up for more outside scenes.
Dude, this is why we get paid the big bucks.
We don't get paid at all.
I'm telling
You do?
I know.
Mike's holding out the
You
money.
get paid?
I, secretly I'm being funneled money for all of our ideas, and I'm just
Oh,
buying
man.
I fucking
Magic
knew it.
the Gathering cards.
Yeah, you're using the podcast Patreon to money launder Magic cards.
Just went and bought 2 more packs today. I'm gonna go on Friday and play fucking draft with them, and yeah.
I had to go to the corner of 12th and Tremont to get some exclusive Walgreens sold out packs.
Oh man, God, I really want to. Oh man, I'm excited for the Magic the Gathering idea that we have, and I hope that it actually comes to fruition because I think
One day
it will be so fucking funny. All right, anything else, Pat? Or else it's time.
That's all. It's time.
It's time.
Cue.
It's time for Nightmare on Elm Street 3, people. Dream Warriors. Oh boy.
Cue the music.
You want to know a secret? You know that Dylan had so eloquently put that he's never watched part 1 and part 2. And I want to let you guys know that this is my first time watching this movie. I have never watched Dream Warriors.
Fucking what?
I am in the same bracket as a Dylan.
Am I the only one here that tries?
Never watched this movie.
as a Dylan. That's a bracket no one wants to be in.
Let's fucking rock out.
All
to
right.
Fucking Dream Warriors by Dokken. Is it Dokken?
Dawkins, dummy.
You know I don't talk. Oh man. Jesus. Just a good fucking. This is how the movie opens, correct? It's
the credits.
No, it's the
Yeah.
credit scene. That's right. I'm thinking of the fourth movie.
Yeah, but this.
Well,
was
you gotta.
This was the first.
Are we gonna let it ride? I'll tell you what.
Yeah, let's get to the
pause
chorus.
it and let the chorus ride
Don't
after
worry.
we're done talking about it. Yeah.
I got you planned. Don't worry. I got it.
But if anybody ever disrespects Don Dawkins around me, they're gonna catch a stone cold stunner. I swear to God, Don Dawkins is the man. All right.
Yeah. All right, guys. Dream Warriors. A familiar person is back in the franchise for this part, and when a familiar knife-wielding individual also reappears after the events of part 1 and part 2, a bunch of teens in a fucking mental hospital have to battle our boy Freddy all over again. I don't know how to start this discussion. I just, for the first time watching this, I have always heard high praise for Dream Warriors. That it's like oftentimes it's people's number 2. I don't know if it's ever someone's. Patrick, it's not your number 1, right?
No, it's definitely my number 1.
It's definitely your number 1. Okay.
Yeah, I love Dream
and
Warriors.
Dream Warriors is a lot of fun. I'm not shitting on this movie. Don't be scared. I had a lot of fucking fun watching this. And after watching part 2, I do have to say that I'm going to put Nightmare on Elm Street part 2 down on my list and move this one up. And when we finally give our final reveal later on in the month. But dude, what a fun fucking movie that is purely letting us see the full reality of the dream world really unfold and what people can and can't do, and understanding that they have a power.
Yeah. I told you
in these
it's
dreams,
X-Men, it's X-Men versus Freddy.
That's not a bad.
But is it?
Yes.
What, Dylan? You have a
Is it
problem
really?
with Dream Warriors?
Listen, I've heard a
dream
lot of
powers.
people. Yeah, and they're all stupid.
I mean, yes.
No,
What do
yes.
you-
They're all
one
stupid.
cares. They're teenagers.
I
Dylan,
kind of
they're
don't want to talk
teenagers
about it.
with mental issues. Okay,
not
what
talk
do you
about
expect?
that.
Yeah, it's the down bad Charles Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters. That's exactly what it is. It's not. I mean, I don't want to talk about their powers that they give
Yeah.
themselves until later, but because I have opinions on that.
All right.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
I will say this. So originally, Wes Craven came back to write the script. It was a lot darker than what we got. A lot of cool things that were from Wes Craven's original script was in this movie, like Nancy coming back.
Yeah, okay.
A lot of the darker stuff, and then it was a nice good blend of like the dark shit that was in the original Nightmare on Elm Street movie, the first one,
Mhm.
with this new fun comical Freddy and this like again also showing us like the dream world was cool.
Yeah.
So it's a nice it's the most like well blended of like sinister Freddy and then comical Freddy, I believe.
I don't disagree with you. I have to agree that like this movie does do a good job of giving us that original scary sinister feel that the second movie really doesn't pull in too much. It's there, but I feel like the way this movie opens with our main character Tristan, is that her name? Kristen. Walking down the sidewalk and the kids are singing the song in the background. The girl's drawing the house on the sidewalk and all of a sudden it just appears. And then we kind of like see her in her room jamming out to some music. She's building a model of the house,
which is also Dawkins.
Oh yeah,
it's also Dawkins.
This fucking shit.
Yeah,
dude.
she's jamming Dawkins and just raw dogging coffee grounds and chasing it with Diet Coke.
Yeah,
this bitch is unhinged. I love her,
dude. Hey, you got to do what you got to do, and she's got the means to do it, but. Fuck, just raw coffee grounds.
Just straight up raw coffee grounds and Diet Coke.
What you want, some dick?
No, that was the wrong one. That's the wrong one too. Which one is it? Not that one.
You dirty bitch, you dirty bitch, you
there it
dirty
is.
bitch.
There
That's
it is.
the one. That's the one.
Do you not have your shit labeled, man?
I do. I just need glasses because it's too small. I wish they could like make them old man size.
But
I'm still getting used to them.
Yeah, I think that overall, if I talk about the movie in an overall vague sense, it is a lot of fun. There are some very campy, dorky parts of this movie, and I think that they may be on purpose. I hope. I don't know.
We'll discuss that, though.
We'll discuss that. But I think that at this point on the roller coaster, I'm riding a good high.
Yeah.
But any other, before we start getting into the shit, Dylan, kind of want to go more into your detail, what you thought about this movie, as it's your first time watching this one too.
It's not as good as everyone says it is. I don't think.
Okay.
Boo.
I don't. Again, another horrible mother that like is just in complete control of Kristen and like not believing her, and she's just like, the guy, she's like, you got to go to sleep, you're crazy, and the guy's like, where do you keep the whiskey? And she's like, I got a dick appointment, like, would you go to sleep please?
Yeah,
like,
for real, like my sexual cravings top your fucking obvious fucking mental breakdown that you're having, so please get your shit together. Mama needs some
What you want, some dick?
For real. Like straight up.
Yeah.
No, so the mom, another movie where the mom sucks, so they're not breaking the mold there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's two out of three.
Pattern.
Well, it's
one
two
is
out of
the mom, two is the dad, three is the mom.
Next
well, actually,
dad.
three.
Hey, you're right. Fuck.
Hey.
Damn
well,
it.
Actually, three is a bit of both. Because you do get an appearance from the shitty dad from the first movie.
Oh yeah,
yeah, but he's not as he's pivotal, but he's not. I'm talking about in the form.
It's like a little bonus.
Who has control over the teenager? Like Nancy's mom was shit in the first one, Jesse's dad was shit in the second one, and now Kristen's mom is shit in the third one. It's kind of funny to see like a bouncing back and forth.
I guarantee you that was not planned at all.
Oh, not at all.
Just like anything in this franchise, nothing's fucking planned. This movie went straight after Revenge, Freddy's Revenge. It went straight into production. A bunch of shit happened during the production of this movie, I believe.
Really?
Again, because they got Wes Craven to come back to do the script, and then said, too dark.
What is that? How is that an issue? Like you're making a horror movie. It's too dark. We got to cut this shit out. What are you doing?
That's why Wes Craven didn't come back till New Nightmare, and he did his meta Freddy movie before Scream.
That's Jesus. I wanted to say something, and I'm trying to formulate it back into my fucking head.
Well, don't hurt yourself.
About I know.
Sound it out.
God, dude, I lost it, I think.
Sorry.
But one of the fun things I liked is that when we finally get to see Nancy, they talk about this hot shot psychiatrist. she doesn't look like she's aged much, and that's what I was going to talk about. So we know that Nightmare on Elm Street happened, and then in part 2, they mentioned that it was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out when this movie takes place, and I've Googled it, and I was like reading a bunch of different little pieces, and I think that this movie's like
It's
progression of events and when they take place literally just go by the year they were released.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
like,
think,
1984, and then 5 years later we get we get 2, and then 1 year later we get 3. So like literally the events of 2 are happened a year ago.
Yeah.
If we're following that like timeline, there's no real like everything in the mother out there about like this is the events of like Freddy's mother and all of this. And it's like, no, that's not what I want. I want to know when in the order of these movies are like how far along are these events, how far are the spaces between each movie, in or like no one seems to know who Freddy is, or like all teenagers are dying, but yet a year ago in the same town a bunch of kids were being killed, like just no one's talking about it, no one's worried about it.
Like that part's connected, but nothing else about it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Like the dream world, and like because now it's like the house.
Yeah, they
you know, which is really well done.
Yeah.
And then this movie does, and I'm sure we'll bring it up at some point about me. I was just about to mention how this movie makes some really weird choices with how it's done, and I'm sure we'll get into it. But also one thing I want to get into that I've noticed, this is the 3rd movie in a row, I think, where it begins with a quote about sleeping and dreams.
Yeah. I saw.
Yeah. Because the other movie does too.
Does it?
The other movie does too. 4 does. But this one starts out with an Edgar Allan Poe quote. Yeah. And I tried to look up if there was like any semblance or reference to it being tied in with this version of Nightmare on Elm Street. Didn't really find anything, but it goes on to say, sleep, those little slices of death, how I loathe them.
Oh.
Now I don't know. I mean, that could, I don't know why he would say loathe. Maybe it's because you're so peaceful when you sleep and then you wake up, and I guess it's like little slices of what it's going to be like when you die, and it's so peaceful you don't want to wake up.
Mm-hmm.
I think that might have just been something kind of cool that they slapped on there. I don't think it really has anything to do with the movie. Kind of like what in the first Nightmare on Elm Street, the book that the classmate is reading, where his voice changes once she enters the dream world, which is still one of my favorite things about that movie.
Yeah.
I just think that Pat, you've seen all these. Was that a reoccurring thing, or did they stop that at one point?
What, the quotes?
Yeah.
I vaguely remember anything from 5 and on.
All right. Well, I'm sure I'll find out on my own. I'm sure I'll find out.
Look, I remember before we started this marathon, I sent a video to Mike, and the guy breaks down every movie to each movie kind of represents like a different form of sleep, or like a signs of sleep or whatever. I can't remember, but he explains mostly like the timeline too. My theory with the events of 1 and 2, I think 3 is trying to retcon 2. That 2 didn't happen.
Okay.
Because they don't,
which would make sense because
they don't mention Jesse at all.
Yeah.
You think that would be,
and it would make sense too because of the way the 4 plays, and it has people that we're going to talk about in it.
That's my theory on the whole
And then
thing.
3, well, 3 also, Freddy is different, and because Freddy can only get you in his dreams in the first movie.
Yeah.
The second movie, he needs to possess Jesse to act out his killings. The third movie
goes back to
is weird.
Okay.
It's back to dreams, but also it's not. But that's we'll get to that part.
I mean, so one of the things that I think that, what they did differently in this movie in early on that we see this is Kristen's ability to call out in her dreams.
Yeah.
Right. Because, her mom is concerned. She's freaking the fuck out. She takes her to this mental institution or psychiatric ward for her daughter to be reviewed. And that's when we start getting introduced to a lot of our characters, right? We get to see Kincaid, we see Joey, we see, God, who else is all there? Where's Dweeb Boy? What's his fucking name?
Oh God.
Fucking wizard.
Fucking Melvin.
We have Taran, we have Philip, Will. It's just like we get introduced to the new fucking group of teens that are ultimately all experiencing the same thing, but haven't really mentioned it, or they're unwilling to talk about it because, you know, they're not being, you know, as in the previously, and it's a constant in this franchise, no one's listening to the kids, right? The kids are just on dope or they're fucked up and no one wants to listen to them or hear them out. So I think it's interesting that we see, you know, it's nothing new, right? Nancy had some sort of ability, whether it is, you know, the power to compel that Freddy's not real and it diminishes his power or whatever. We know that there's an ability for certain people who go into the dream world. This movie really focuses in on that, right?
Mhm.
We get to see that all of our characters learn eventually that they are able to present themselves in Freddy's dream world as they depict themselves in their own dream worlds when they're not with Freddy.
Right.
Which is interesting, right? Like, I think that one of the things we lose in this series, and is the dream world. Like, we didn't really get any of that in part 2.
Mm-hmm.
Still enjoyed it, but I think we missed that aspect. I also missed
Well, they get more very much more cartoony in 5 and 6.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Like
definitely.
where he's like pulling some like Roadrunner, Wild Coyote like traps for them.
Yeah.
It's very much cartoony. I will say the fact that he taps into like your fears in a little bit to kind of represent what the dream realm is going to be for you, or like how he kills you, is way more interesting in this way.
They really lean into that in 4.
Yes, for sure.
Oh yes.
And I think
Definitely.
so. I have a theory with the fact that Kirsten has this power, and I think Nancy does in the first movie a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember in the first movie where she first goes to see the jock guy in the prison, it's in her dream, right? And Glenn's with her to make sure that she's like he's watching over her, but he's also in the dream realm. So I think she maybe also had before Kristen had the ability to bring people into her dreams. And then
I think so.
yeah, because again, a little bit forward, but in the next movie, Kirsten's able to pass on to those powers to someone else.
Oh my god.
Yeah, what?
Oh my god. We'll get to that. Don't worry.
Yeah, but yeah, because I was trying.
Jesus
I'm like trying to
fuck.
figure out like what. Okay, like why does Kirsten have this power? And apparently, she's had this power since she was like a child too. Because she says she used to bring her dad into her dreams, and then her dad would be like, "You brought me in your dreams. Huh?
Why the fuck you bringing me in your dreams, Christian?
Stop being a bitch."
I think it's funny how like this movie almost kind of gives me a feel like it's trying to play some type of Exorcist 3 feel, with like it being completely set in this mental institution where Exorcist 3 is in the hospital.
Yeah.
We have our main Nancy, the main doctor, Neil, who like also like unexpected romance. What the fuck? Like he literally the old lady, what's her fucking name?
Dr. Bitch.
Yeah, that one. She's like, she talks about bringing on this hotshot psychiatrist. He's like, I don't want no goddamn young head coming in here
And then Nancy pops
mucking up my patients. And then like we don't even really see them meet too much or even have like a full on conversation, because that's when Kristen is introduced and she's fucking throwing my man Lawrence Fishburne out the goddamn window and shit.
fucking
Like
people
she's
up.
coming at him.
Yeah, that was
And then
that's
like, the next scene is we see them at dinner. Like what the what
Yeah,
the fuck?
they no one has an answer for that. Also, did you not think that was Bill Maher the whole time?
dude, I thought it was Bill Maher the whole fucking time.
Not only does he look like him, he sounded just like him too. I'm like,
Dude, I wanted to Dude, listen, Bill Maher is one of the most punchable people on the fucking planet. And all I wanted to do, I was like, dude, you're trying your best, but my fist is balled up. I just want to rock you one because I'm sure you're about to say something really fucking pretentious.
Bill Maher is an SOSF, and if you don't know what that is, just fucking Google it, dude.
No, my, are you even sure it would show up on Google?
All right, it's swing on sight.
Listen, let's not bring that shit up, please, for the love of God. I will say this though, it's funny because I didn't know Lawrence Fishburne was in this movie.
Yeah.
And no one would think it because when you're watching the opening credits, he's Larry Fishburne.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? And then he shows up, and of course he's the best actor in the whole movie.
100%. He kills it. He
does.
He kills it in this movie.
He goes on. I'm pretty sure that was before Boys in the Hood, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where he plays Furious Styles, who's just one of my, such a great character. And Furious Styles, really good band too. But yeah, this is Morpheus's origin story in a weird way. This is before he takes the pills. This is before he takes the red pill and he fucking jacks out. Listen, if he was just Morpheus, then Freddy Krueger wouldn't have stood a chance.
Oh, yeah.
No. He wouldn't have. He'd have fucking, oh man, he'd have matrixed it out. It would have been so cool. But yeah, Nancy just shows up and like, I remember someone, I think Pat was like, oh, wait till Dream Warriors, because I was like a little spoiler. Yeah, she shows up. Not only does she have the ability to like understand what the kids are going through, but she's also an experienced person with bitch mothers. So when when Kristen's mother starts being a bitch to her, Nancy's like, she's like that Shaq quote where he says, "You can't fool me. I'm familiar with your game."
Yeah.
He's just like, I know what you're up to. My mom did it to me and now you're doing it to her. Although this mother was like, we've tried everything. I've spent so much money. Nothing seems to work. So like, I'm not saying she's definitely better than Nancy's mother. Yeah. At least she spent money and tried to do things. And like, but she's just like, I don't fucking know. Pulls out God, the chain smoking that goes on in this series is enough for like secondhand, third degrees cigarette smoke to come out of your TV. I mean, they're just lighting them up 24/7 in this movie, or this whole series. But yeah, I thought it was kind of weird, the budding love romantic relationship that was festering with all of that. Like, it didn't sit well.
No, it just felt weird. Plus, like the age difference too. Like, I feel like we all know Nancy from 1984. She was what, 17, 16 in that movie. Yeah. This is 6 years after that. So let's say she was 16. Yeah, she's in her early 20s. Like, all right, dude, calm the fuck down. Let's pump the brakes there.
Who's this guy? Fucking Kip Winger?
He's got a fucking MGK barely legal in his fucking desk in his office.
My God, dude.
But I do want to ask this. I think in this movie so far, like, right, and we all know the kill scenes. Out of all of them, which has to be the one that you like the most? That's the most fucked up in your opinion?
Oh, I know mine for sure.
What is it?
It's the fucking Vane marionette.
Oh, dude, yeah. It's probably the best one.
That made my I curled up in a ball.
Yeah.
I was reclused so hard by just how fucking gross and realistic that looked. Yeah. I was just like, oh, Jesus fuck. I was like, made my skin crawl because I have such a thing with like needles, like I got a lot of blood work done when I was going through all my cancer stuff. And luckily they finally put a port in my chest and that was a lot easier to deal with. But when I go and get blood work done, I think about the needle entering and threading into a vein on such a microscopic level. Like, I want to throw up and shit my pants just talking about it right now. And I'm getting more and more over that, but just the thought of that. And then like also like razor blades slicing and like opening up veins and like skins and stuff, like in such a delicate yet visceral, violent way. That scene checked every fucking box 3 times for making me just want to fucking leap out of my skin and my skeleton run down the road.
Not only that, the fact that it starts with a stop motion claymation with Freddy
So good.
Krueger as a fucking marionette puppet, dude.
Yeah.
Just
It was like a fucking Tool video.
yeah, dude, so fucking cool. Pat, yours is it the same or is it the other one?
That one's really effective. I wouldn't say a kill scene, but one of my favorite like bits of this movie is Worm Freddy.
Worm Freddy's the
It's-
production, like,
And dude,
very good.
The when he sees Nancy, he's like, "You."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh shit!" Like, you know, like I get stoked. Like, oh, it's like a cool reunion.
It really is. And it's
he's like,
fun
"Fuck
to,
the
like,
one that got away."
the one that got away, the one that fucked me up
Yeah.
is back, and now I have to take her ass out.
And Worm Freddy is just it's such a great puppetry, such a crazy. Like the practical effects in this movie is so fucking like good. Some of it's outdated, but a lot of it is.
Oh my God. Is it ever?
But then we get Worm Freddy and the Vein,
And
and
it makes up for it.
yeah.
Did you think that in Krampus, the Jack in the Box, that they pulled any sort of like inspiration from
Hands down, had
Worm
to.
Freddy?
Has to, dude. Have to.
Yeah. It's very similar, not in like a rip-off way, but in like
No,
a homage
homage.
kind of way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I love Marionette one, but just to give like, the light to other scenes, like we're talking about special effects and just doing a really great job. When we see what's her name, let me just look at it real quick on my note. Oh, Jennifer's character, the one who wants to be a movie star.
I will say,
Welcome to prime time, bitch.
Yeah.
Yes.
Talk about just a fucking an iconic scene and quote, right? The welcome to prime time, bitch, will always be in the horror, discourse forever. I mean, so much so that it's embedded in our intro song in the background if you listen closely.
Yeah.
That scene's also, I think, in our actual intro music video. I mean, like, it's such an iconic fucking phrase, and the way that they did that, Freddy coming out of the top of the TV and the arms coming out, like, it's just like that. Though these movies may be ridiculous, especially down like the road, like 4, 5, 6, New Nightmare. New Nightmare saves itself, but they really do spend the time on practicality, and I have to like. I wish I had some like fun background music to play behind me when I get on my soapbox, and I'm like, man, can we just take the time to appreciate
just hit
the level of work that went into making movies back then, and like how much time and effort and passion people spent designing characters, making sure that it looked good on camera, and not just in Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm talking like, and not just horror, in action movies and in these thriller, like the time it took to just make a movie, make it look real. I mean, think Terminator 2, like the effects of that movie were so
Blade Runner.
fucking amazing. Blade Runner,
Alien, Star Wars,
and
Jesus Star Trek,
Christ.
And there's a reason these movies like stand the test.
They
of
hold
time.
up.
And look,
like you can watch any of these movies to this day, and it still looks. I mean, Jurassic Park, one of my favorite movies.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
You can still, the dinosaurs look so real. I mean, yeah, the CG when it's there, it's not good and it's whatever. But when it comes to the practical effects, and I really wish that more movies really spent the time to, fund these programs and reamp that industry and fuel more passion, because I know a lot of people are doing special effects, but it just sucks. And I think a lot of movies miss that passion. I know it's hard to make it look good, but when you have a really good team that knows what they're doing, it looks good, and it will look good forever.
And not to say that CGI isn't movie magic, because in a lot of way it is. There's a lot of talented visual effects artists and designers out there that really do such a good job.
Agreed.
But I mean, especially horror more than anything, and sci-fi and stuff like that. Your foundation is so built upon the art of practical effects, and this movie's a really good example of how practical effects will age timelessly, and CGI will age like
milk,
bread, in a fucking like bread left out in the fucking left out on the counter.
Yeah,
it will not last
man.
long. Yeah, because some of the CGI in here was like Evil Dead 2, like low budget level. Like Evil Dead 2 CGI was even better.
Yeah.
You know, even Army of Darkness, their CGI was better.
Yeah.
And this was terrible. Like this. Again, we'll get to it because I really want to save it for like that fucking junkyard scene or whatever. But
yeah.
I will also say this. I wrote Jesus fucking Christ. Using veins and tendons as marionette strings makes my fucking stomach turn.
Oh, dude. Can we also talk about Joey?
Yeah. But also he, and like, you know, it's almost like these doctors, or like the woman doctor, the head doctor. It's almost like she's a U.S. politician, the way that you believe that she's being paid to just ignore things.
Yeah.
And like tell everybody what's really going on. If I was sitting there and she said, "Oh, it was a sleepwalking accident," I would have Shawn Michaels sweet chin musicked her ass out the window. I would have Kevin Nash big booted her right out the front door. I know and it's so weird. Also, what's the name of the doctor that falls in love with Nancy?
His name is Neil Gordon.
That's the character's name.
Yes. His name in real life is Craig Wasson.
Well, talk about old Neil. How about Neil saying, as a psychiatry professional, suicide's the cowardly way out?
Yeah.
I was like, are
He's
you
the
fucking?
worst.
Well, I mean, I get it. It's the 80s.
Yeah.
No one knew
Jesus
anything.
Christ.
You know, but I was like, how is this guy where he's at with like, that's like 101,
Yeah.
you know? I personally don't believe that to be true one bit. I don't know any fucking cowards. That is not like, no, I'm a coward because I could never, you know, but again, I've never been, I mean, I've been close, but like, that's another story, but you know,
I just don't get, like, they see this happening. Like they see this, their guy fucking, you know, Frankenstein walk around the building and no one's stopping him.
right.
Right? Like Joey comes out and fucking runs to the nurse station. He doesn't speak. Joey's character is one who doesn't speak in this movie. He slams a tray at her and runs away, and no one comes. Yeah. All the people wake up, and all the other main characters in this movie go to this room. But like, why did they just go to the room? Why didn't someone say, "Run"? He's at the top of the bell tower. Run! Someone go there now. Or
everyone was too busy.
Max.
Everyone
Max?
was too busy smoking cigarettes.
I think so, dude. Because it's just one of those things where like they even mention it. How could this have happened? And it's just like, where's the staff? Like, how did no one, like? Because what's really fun, and I think this is what from watching part 4, 3 is like one of the last times that we see the actual effects happening in the reality. Right? In 4, we don't see that. We only see what's going on in the dream world. And it's one of my major problems with that part 4. But in part 3, like Joey, we see both worlds, right? We see the dream world where we're seeing the veins being pulled out of him and he's being made to walk.
That's Philip.
But then we see what other people are seeing, which is just him walking with no blood, which makes no sense to me at all either. If Freddy had cut into his arms and had pulled, he should be bleeding in the real world.
So that's the thing,
because that's how we know that to be true.
That's the weird thing about all these movies. Again, how each movie breaks its own rules.
Yeah,
because in 4 too, it definitely breaks its fucking rules.
Oh,
but this one, it's like I think it's mostly because Freddy again has no rules, so he's also playing on the fact that these are suicidal teens. That, again, when it's like, you know, Philip jumping off the roof when it's not, you know, it's not him committing suicide. It's Freddy's doing.
Correct. But what I mean is, like, in the beginning of the movie, when Kristen's mom opens the bathroom door and Freddy's cutting her in the dream, but they show us her slitting her wrist.
Yeah.
That got
bleeding,
me good.
Right?
That got me good.
But
I think that's also
later on in the movie, we don't. So Freddy can now control both dream and the reality, the real.
I mean, look, there's a whole group of kids that have the fear of Freddy, so we don't know how, like, again, how powerful he is dependent on how much he can control outside of the dream realm.
So I don't know. It feels weird because, like, you know, in the first movie, in the second movie, we know that if Freddy cuts someone in the dream world, they get cut in the real world.
Yeah.
That's how people know they're being fucking attacked. In this movie, we see that in the beginning, but then we don't see it anywhere else. And it's just weird. I think it's a weird choice. I don't know why that was done.
For the sake of the script to work, we're just gonna break every rule because magic and dreams and shit.
Movie, it's fun. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. I just think there's a lot of weird choices they picked.
Definitely.
They're talking about administering that fucking, new psychoactive drug that prevents dreams, right? I don't know how.
Where the fuck did they get that from?
Okay, so apparently, let me put my glasses up. What it does is it binds to a DMT molecule and it prohibits the. No, I don't fucking know, guys. I mean, it makes no fucking sense.
I was convinced you were like actually gonna get some.
No, dude.
Where did they go to the fuck? Where did they get it from? The fucking convenient for the plot pharmacy down the street.
Yes,
for
obviously.
real.
That is insane.
Yeah, it just. Yeah. We see, and then like they try to go back to like. They understand that Kristen has this power and can pull people into her dreams because she screens for Nancy.
Yeah.
So Nancy, in one go, tells Neil all the shit, and he's just like, "Yeah, okay, that sounds right. I'm on board."
What men will believe when they're trying to get in women's pants.
Exactly.
I've said it in Nightmare on Elm Street 1. I've said it in Nightmare on Elm Street 2. And I'll say it again for Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
It's just like this dude was so adamant of it, her being out of her fucking mind. And then in the split second, he's like, "Nah, dude, order us some fucking Hypnovol and off record fucking group session. I'm going to fucking hypnotize all of you. And we're going to try to see if this shit's actually fucking true." And like the moment Nancy started mentioning Freddy Krueger and started like, I don't see how she wasn't locked up. I don't see how fucking Dr. Sims, who was the old lady, just said, "All right, someone give me a fucking 10 cc's of fucking heroin. We're putting this woman under." Like,
listen. Men will let women say a lot of crazy shit and go along with it if they're trying to get in someone's pants. You know what I'm saying?
I guess
they will do it. I myself have gone on with a few like, that's not weird at all. But in my brain, I'm like, what the fuck am I getting into?
Yeah.
Real quick though, I do want to bring up, you said that, they make some weird choices and stuff. I like the choice when the primetime kill scene, when the TV's on the late night talk show host.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Dick Cavett and Zsa Zsa Gabor. It's actually Dick Cavett and Zsa Zsa Gabor playing themselves, but for the movie.
Yeah.
And I went, I don't know how they did it. Not that they're like A-list celebrities or anything, but who goes through the time to be like, why don't we try and get both of them to really come back and do it?
Or that it was either that or they credited in the film, or did they just like recorded?
Yes, no, they are credited. They're at the beginning credits of the movie. Dick Cavett, Zsa Zsa Gabor.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about it. Let's get down to the gravy, the dream world, the dream powers, dream warriors, everyone, if you may. Who the fuck is that dweeb that can't walk in this movie? Is it Philip?
Melvin.
It's not Philip. Melvin, Will, whoever the fuck it is.
This is his name. It has to be Melvin. Melvin's a nerd's name.
It has to be.
Melvin's a nerd's name.
I think is it Will or Philip?
It's Will.
It's either Will or Philip.
No, Philip is the vain guy.
Vain guy is Philip, right? So it's Will. All right. I watched this movie and everyone's like, one girl's like, "In my dreams, I'm beautiful." And pulls out fucking switchblades, but I'm bad. I'm like,
the way she said it, though.
Lines, dude.
The way, and it's the way she said it. And I have it wrote out the way she said it. And she says, "In my dream, I'm beautiful and bad." I'm like, it's your dream, and you come up with switchblades?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Where's two flaming swords of vengeance? Like, that's my gripe with this shit, with these
dream powers,
with these fucked up Xavier gifted youngsters. You can do anything you want in your dream, and that's what you pick.
You pick that.
Well, okay.
You pick switchblades?
Okay, and then we get to fucking Kristen's, who's just like gymnastics.
Yeah, she's Liu Kang from Mortal Kombat 1.
And look, look.
She's like, "In my dreams, I can do this," and it's like, bitch, you can do that in the real world. That's not a power.
And look,
Yeah.
I
How
understand.
about you turn into a giant mechanized robot that shoots holy
for
water
real.
laser
And
guns
then
at him or something?
Kincaid's like, I'm strong,
and
it's
then bends a fucking chair.
That'll show him.
you better rue the day, motherfucker. Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna turn you into a pretzel.
Yeah.
And then
And
my
look,
favorite
I-
of all
I understand Melvin's.
is Will, my Melvin. In my dream, I'm a supreme sorcerer.
Go outside, nerd.
Like, dude, get the fuck out of here.
Straight up, dude.
Like,
At least his is like could
can
probably
walk.
do something.
yeah, that's true. He does give himself the ability to walk, which I appreciate. But you
What
know
if he could
In
just walk?
practicality, yeah, dude,
You can't have both. You have to either walk or you have to have wizard powers. Which one is it? What if everyone's like, I can do flips. I can have switchblades and a mohawk. I can bend chairs. I can walk. It's like Freddy, count your days. The fucking the guy the marbles on the spectrum are coming at you, buddy. They're gonna get you.
fucking dude. I laugh so I immediately pause the movie because it's delivered in such like in the most nerdy, corniest fucking way possible, and I immediately found that fucking audio clip and I was like, it has to be played. That is the most like, but even though it's ridiculous, it made me laugh. At least my dude had actual powers, like that were beneficial to beating an evil like dream character.
Yeah, but like Freddie
Like-
said, I don't believe in fairy tales.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah, this
I will
is when
say-
like catchphrase Freddy starts to
yeah,
really
he's
shine.
coming in.
Yeah.
Sassy Freddy's coming. Like,
Oh.
Oh, so
when so Joey's scene when the nurse that he has hots for
Oh,
finally
man.
comes to his fucking room and is like, "Hi, Joey. You know I
Listen.
like you, and you're not gonna tell anyone, right, Joey? I was like naked and seduce you as an underage teenager. I can risk my entire life, Joey, but you're not gonna tell anyone because you don't have a voice." But he's
And
just
listen.
like, "Yes, this is happening."
I would have done the same thing, Joey.
Joey's just sitting there like, "Yep."
yeah.
In his head because he doesn't talk.
Yeah,
But it's so
yep.
funny. She takes her clothes off, and I went, God damn, Joey. Good for you, man. No wonder you were in love with her. She wasn't that good looking to me at all. But then I was
She
like,
got
good for
naked.
you, Joey. I know what's happening here, but at least for a second, it's like everything you've ever wanted.
And then
You
they
know,
make
so
out
there-
and his
there's
fucking
that.
tongues get ripped out and he gets fucking tongue tied to a bed and dragged
I
to
love
hell.
that, dude. When Freddie went tongue tied, I went, I wrote LOL tongue tied in my thing because I was like, that's great, dude. That is fantastic.
Oh, Jesus. I just feel like we had to mention that because it's important to the plot because
definitely.
Joey goes into a coma. He's the first one. And then not Will, but Philip,
Melvin.
Marionette Boy. He's the second death. And then that's when they all decide, we got to go to the dream world and fight Freddy with our fucking gymnastic and switchblades.
Yeah. The reject Justice League
Yeah.
Jesus.
going into the dream world to
I'm
fight.
sorry. We're shitting on Pat's dreams. I'm sorry, Pat. Come on. Tell us why you love it. Go ahead.
What? No, this is all fine. Now, this is all thing. This is why I'm having fun with this one. I will
A lot
say,
of what we're shitting on is why he loves it.
Yeah, exactly.
One
I
man's
do
trash is
love-
another man's treasure has never been more true than right now.
I do love the Freddy's with the needles hand for
Oh,
the
dude, that was sick.
Oh,
for the dare.
Yeah, dude. Switchblade girl who was a heroin addict.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I-
also, can we talk about a sleazy fucking fucking nursing assistant? He
Oh,
fucking,
yeah, he's
"Hey,
like,
I
"Hey,
got
you
fucking pharmaceuticals. You want to fucking do some drugs? Man?
oh yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Do you guys watch that guy on Instagram who's like, hell yeah, dude, ask my mom, dude, straight up. Like, do you know that guy with the lip ring?
Stop it.
The guy who's at the bus. He does. Have you seen him do the one where he works at like the nursing homes or he works at the hospital?
Oh no.
And he's like, fool, they're gonna have me train this dude, man. I'm gonna show you how I do it though. Like he does piece of shit all the fucking time. That's that guy where he's just selling pharmaceuticals to like that poor girl who's trying to be clean.
But Pat, you were gonna say something before
Yeah,
I
no,
just
that-
fucking jumped on that. Man, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. One of the again back to the practical effects. This movie, I didn't connect it till like rewatching it. This is one of the first movies I watched as a child that wanted me to get into practical effects. That's what I went to college for. Was
Nice.
a lot of the shit that we were just ranting about. How there's and again why I didn't continue my career in college was because there was no jobs for fucking practical effects anymore. I wanted to make monsters, and I remember now watching Dream Warriors. A lot of the practical effects in that movie was the start of everything. Like why I wanted to get into movie business and do makeup.
Make monsters.
And then again, that's the whole reason we started this podcast was to bring awareness to movies that have these practical effects. Hence why we always talk about fucking Tokyo Gore Police. You know, it's not a great movie,
or Del Toro. But like
exactly.
also, I mean, like we talk like Del Toro makes good movies, but Del Toro takes the time to put in practical effects in his films. But I also wanted to make monsters. I don't have that type of artistic capability. I'm artistic in other areas. But I used to watch like on the TV show, like Making Monsters, Face Off. Like I love consuming all of that content because it was just so much fun to watch people bring these things to life.
Recently, like a couple months ago, before we got into 90 Day Fiance binge, me and Sav were watching Face Off because I was showing her like what I was getting into college for and what I wanted to do.
Has Sav never watched Face Off?
No.
Oh man, 9 seasons isn't she in for a treat?
I mean, we kind of moved on from that. We watched like 3 seasons of it, and then we went to 90 Day Fiance.
Yeah, that's the train wreck I'm looking for.
But I will say, back to the heroin scene, the track marks with the mouth.
Oh, disgusting!
And again, this is the best Freddy makeup and this one in 4
hands down
is the best makeup. Not only with the primetime scene where he becomes the TV, and you can see some of the gray and silver into the burn marks, and in this one too. Again, the idea of having like his hands turned into heroin the heroin needles, fucking so perfectly done. And then his one-liners too. I think the only one that was improv was Primetime Bitch.
Which is amazing.
Which I think was just straight from him. Everything else has been, I think, was pre-written.
Yeah.
But, he's like, stabs into her, and he like gives like this like...
What a rush.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is just fucked up. Like, that was all... like that one was really weird. Maybe it's because of the needles and stuff, but like...
Well,
just watching it like go out of the needles into her body is just really fucking... disturbing for me.
And the way he toys with her too, he's like, old time friend. Remember the
old time friends.
Come on. And that's how addiction works.
Yeah, no, definitely. And like it's crueler because we just saw her have an opportunity to get high and take it, and go, no, like I'm clean, get the fuck away from you. Like, so it's even a little bit, it's sad because like, that she's actively trying to get better.
Yeah.
And then ultimately she's killed by her fucking shit.
Right. And this is why this is
something that's really go ahead.
This is why this is one's my favorite one, because Freddy does play like more of a inner demon fucking fear than just the slasher that he has become. This one's it hits him more personal, like per character, and I think that's also why this movie is one of my favorites too. The ensemble of characters are memorable. No matter how corny
I'm
it
always
is,
gonna remember Kincaid and Will for the rest of my fucking life.
Yeah, and Kincaid is fucking awesome. Yo, Freddy!
But like, I think one of the things we actually haven't talked about that's important in kind of like going towards third act finale type of conversation. At the first funeral for Philip, Neil, Jesus, their fucking names, sees a nun. And he goes and talks to this nun, and he sees this nun throughout the film and all this stuff. And there's a scene where he actually follows her into an abandoned house, or not house, but like, the wing or whatever. And she then tells the story about how this is where all the vile, criminally insane pieces of shit motherfuckers were housed in. One weekend, Amanda, one of the nuns, the sisters that worked there, was left over the weekend and all this stuff. And that's when we find out that, Freddy is the byproduct of, a bunch of SA, and that woman is Amanda Kruger. And
the fact that his mother's
I don't know if the writers don't understand how like physiology works, but that's fine.
She said that.
We're
She
not
said
going to
that.
talk about it, but it's I think they maybe should have like done a little bit of research.
Yeah.
Well, she said. Yeah, she said that he was the bastard son of
like
100 maniacs.
Yeah. So
That doesn't work.
That doesn't work.
That doesn't work.
But they were trying to like give us a snibble of origins, which I honestly don't think we needed. Like I think the idea of like it just being this person that was a child murderer, that was killed by a family that was then cursed because of the way he was killed and all stuff. Like I think that's fine. I don't think we need to. Oh, I know. I know.
But
I know
also,
it's coming down the pipeline.
Also, I do feel like that the vile nature of how he was conceived plays a part into his vile upbringing, which turned him into the monster that forced everyone in the town to kill him.
No, like I said, if it's based on slasher shit too, like again, Michael Myers being pure evil, Freddy being a product of 100 maniacs. I mean, yes, it's a bit.
And Jason just drowning in a lake.
Yeah, I mean,
he was ugly and gross and deformed, and he drowned in a lake. And now he's a 7'5"
ruthless killer.
He's like a linebacker in the NFL, and he carries a machete and a hockey mask. Yeah,
no, but the idea of that being like part of Freddy's origins and why he is the way he is. I mean, I felt the fact that she's a nun.
Yeah, I mean,
and it sucks.
It's more defiling.
Yeah,
it's more of a defiling, vile act.
Yeah.
So it was just really important that we pointed that out because it's actually a really important part of the the events of the movie because this character is what helps them figure out how they're supposed to defeat Freddy because you're not beating him in the dream world. I don't know what these kids were thinking. Like, he's the fucking ultimate. He's the ultimate guy, dude. Yeah. He's gonna fuck you up. Mm-hmm. It takes fucking Neil and a drunk Nancy's dad to go to the junkyard where apparently where they buried Freddy's body. Not even buried. It's just in the back of a Cadillac.
Yeah.
It's just or like whatever that car was. They didn't really like zoom in on what it was.
Freddy's car.
And they got Freddy's car. They got a fucking
Where's the roof? Where's the striped roof at?
A lot of that thing like feels like it was just rushed to me or like wasn't written as well as it could be. Like after all these years, you're telling me that no one in the junkyard has had to work that section and crush those cars and ship them out or anything like that. Yeah. Like it's just there. It's been there all these years.
It's not like a big city junkyard. It probably doesn't get to that point.
Yeah, but junkyards got to make money and they make money by crushing
but it wasn't like sitting
selling.
there for like 50, 60, 70 years. It's probably like a 15, 16 years was like Nancy, Well, they never didn't they do that when like Nancy was a kid or she wasn't even born yet. I'm not.
Apparently, they didn't. It was before. I don't know if it was before she was born or when she was like a kid. But still,
small town like that probably doesn't.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, but that's giving this movie too much credit.
Particular car.
Yeah. I also love how they go to the bar and it's like, oh, Nancy's dad. Not only does he still suck, he's also an alcoholic, just like his worthless wife was.
And he's a security guard now.
And he's and he's demoted. He is down bad as down bad gets. Yeah. And he still decides to not believe Nancy about Freddy Krueger
after literally watching his wife be brought into a bed. It just absolutely blows my mind. But yeah, do we get the fun scene of Freddy's skeleton coming to life as an Army of Darkness character?
That should have had xylophones playing in the background. And he's just been like, I have a bone to pick with you. And then it should have seriously just been so. And like, how is this? Okay, so Freddy doesn't really, I guess from Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy has powers in the real world.
Yes.
Or unless he's possessing another person's body, but he possesses his old body, which is a skeleton, and that skeleton can best two live mortal men.
You sure damn right it can.
Also, the Nancy's dad, the sheriff, drove them to the fucking to the junkyard. He was like fucked up drunk. Why was he the one driving?
No, Neil drove.
No, I think I think it was him.
No, it was Neil. Because
was it Neil?
When Neil went to go grab the body out of the trunk, the dad tried to drive away, and Neil was like, "I got the keys. Where are you going? You're fucking you're coming. You're dealing with this shit.
When he drove him to the junkyard,
yeah,
I thought that it was him because I wrote in my notes, why
Neil,
is Nancy's drunk dad driving?
No, he was in the passenger seat. But yeah,
Who's
dude.
pull
So
over a cop?
yeah, well, he's not a cop.
Yeah,
He's a
he's a
security
security
guard. It's just the fucking. I feel like it was just kind of like a meh ending for me.
Yeah.
We had like they Freddy. You know, once Freddy leaves the real world and goes back to the dream world, he fucking like he takes Nancy and he fucking like comes as a force ghost as her dad.
Yeah, what?
And I was like, the fuck is going on here? And then he kills her.
Yeah.
And then Neil pours fucking holy water and a cross on Freddy
Well, are we
Krueger's
going to skip
bones.
that whole dream thing? The whole thing? Because
Go
we didn't
ahead,
talk.
brother.
Well, we didn't talk about the wizard.
Oh yeah, and
The fucking 2-second scene where he was like,
Well, he casted the magic,
Fireball.
but the thing was, he ran after Freddy. What mage runs at someone while they're casting a spell? Their
whole
whole
point.
thing is distance.
yeah.
They're
this
not.
fucker's
Why would
purely
what,
never played Diablo?
look? Why don't I close the gap while I'm at it? Why would you do that?
I mean, I
This
guess
is
you
the
said he was
dumbest
running
thing.
towards Freddy because the wheelchair of barbaric doom was chasing him.
No. The chair wasn't there yet. He had him on the ropes, and then he decided to run closer to him because I think the
Because
chair
Will-
was before that.
Will is a dumbass.
Melvin.
Will is a dumbass, and he
Will
got
thinks
his.
that he is Elrond, king of the fucking elves, and he is a
Melvin.
dweeb who
Yeah.
fucking
Melvin.
by Merlin's beard you shall not pass.
Yeah, pretty much.
And, it was meh. I mean, like it was a meh scene for me.
Yeah.
Why
I
did
like the
holy water
wheelchair
work against
scene.
why did holy water work against Freddy?
Demon? I don't know.
Is he
We had to end the
a
movie.
demon? What is he?
I don't know, dude. I guess the
So
concept that
they-
he's bad and holy water good. It kills the bad.
Dylan, they explained what Freddy is in the next movie. So I don't want to spoil it for you.
Oh, in 4?
yes. In 4, they
no,
definitely
sorry,
do.
not 4 and 5. Sorry.
In 5.
Okay,
yeah.
good. Okay.
Yeah.
Also,
So-
I love that Kristen's having a dream where her mother's actually nice.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing where it's like, hey, where's the bourbon downstairs? And then Freddy comes around and like kills her and he goes, where's the fucking bourbon? I was like, yeah. Like I'm all on Freddy's side. Like I want Freddy to succeed. Like fuck these kids. There's not one. I guess the strong kid in the dreams. I guess he's the jock. But there's no jock in this movie. I can't root for anybody.
Listen, Kincaid is the one you root for. He's the shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I liked Kincaid a lot from beginning to end.
Max.
Yeah.
Max was cool.
And I just they go in the dream world since we're bringing it up because it is important because it's towards the end of the movie too. But Max is on that fucking like that just fucking tied up by the tongues over open
That's
pit
Joey.
of fucking doom. Joey, Jesus Christ. These names. There's too many of them. I can't keep up with it.
Max is
Joey, they finally go
Morpheus.
get him. And Max is Morpheus. They finally go get him, and Joey eventually like screams and breaks
Yeah, his
all of
power
the
is that he can
mirrors that they were
speak.
pulled into. Like, come on, man. Damn. They're like,
I will
if
say
this is a dream world, give us some cooler fucking power.
yeah,
Some
no,
laser
but I will
eyes.
say the mirror.
That was my whole complaint, yeah.
The Freddy grabbing everyone into the mirror effect was so fucking cool.
That
well
was cool.
done.
That was cool.
Mhm.
I'm still trying to figure out how
Yeah.
the fuck they did that back in the 80s.
Probably a mixture of practical and CG. I mean,
There was no
they
CGI back
probably
then.
just had. Oh, they had computer effects.
But
They had some.
yeah, all right.
Believe me, they definitely. You think that hellfire pit was real?
I love how I have in my notes. I said, "Oh man, not the Freddy skeleton." Like, yeah, that was. I was like, "Oh, this is
and
bad."
it was like
That whole-
quintessential fucking skeleton effect
Yeah,
too.
it's
like,
an homage
fucking,
to
like-
those old movies.
Yeah,
Just like how
I mean,
Are you sure that's what it was, or what, did they run out of money?
they're like, all right,
No.
the Freddy worm costed us a lot of money.
Yeah, you know how much Vane marionette strings cost these days, popping out of a TV.
Yeah.
You can't have it all. You
also,
get Freddy.
that fucking Freddy in the night sky was cool. That was
Yeah.
cool. The movie does have a lot of cool stuff. It's just I feel like the ending was so lackluster and was so meh to me.
Yeah, it was.
Like it's just like Force Ghost, Nancy's dad.
That shit was
so
fucking
bad.
funny.
Embrace,
So
and
bad.
then Freddy just stabs her in the stomach, and it's like after all this time, that's all Freddy does to Nancy.
Yeah.
He just stabs her in the fucking stomach.
Gotcha, bitch.
What? And again, we don't see any fucking.
What?
We don't see any fucking blood or gore in the real world.
Yeah.
None. We're used to Loretta.
Yeah, I have to feed him. I forgot I have to feed him. She's probably
But, like,
starving.
You know, when you look at episode 1 and you have the fucking Fountain of Doom bloodbath of Glenn's room, and you have what's going on with fucking Tina, where she's just getting sliced, like that is what we love about fucking Nightmare on Elm Street. Like we want that fucking blood. And I think that that's what these movies start to miss now is the fact that we're seeing people die, but then like they don't really focus on the reality of things.
Right. No.
Right.
No. And again, I'm trying to, defend this movie for what it's trying to do with these are Freddy's trying to play along with the fact that no one believes these kids, right?
Yeah.
So if he does have the ability to change things in the real world, like we clearly see, and again in the next one too, it's more apparent that their deaths and their dreams is not represents them how they die in the reality. Yeah. It's a little bit of like again trying to make sure that these people around them that aren't the teenagers don't believe him. That's why he's so threatened by Nancy. That's why when he sees her for the next,
I sees her, he's like, I guess I'll take it.
I mean, again, I'm trying to defend this movie because I really
of course. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and like based on like what we talked about for this movie, I'm gonna totally give it. I mean, it's not horrible. It's not what we're about to talk. It's still a fun movie. Yeah. I think for me, I'll give it a 3. It still checks a lot of boxes. I just think that they went in a little too hard on like the quirky writing for some characters and should have leaned a little bit more on the scary factor of this film. So I'm gonna give it a 3.
Yeah, I give it a 4.5.
4.5.
Yeah.
Damn.
What the fuck,
Dylan? I haven't said anything bad about this movie, so I don't know.
A 4.5.
I don't know why you're shocked.
I was waiting for it. I knew it was going to be a 4 something.
Yeah. I don't know what you expect out of these movies. I know going into these are going to be campy, dumb movies.
I expected more from you. I'll tell you that.
Well, hey, like I said, I have a passion with this and a personal thing with this movie, so that's why I have a high score with it.
Yeah. Dylan?
So objectively, what do you give it?
Fine.
Take all your nostalgia away from it.
Well, then again.
I guess it's hard. I guess you should give it your review as a longtime fan of the movie.
Yeah, and again, I'm coming from the aspect of movie making. This has one of the best practical effects and the best looking Freddy I've seen in any of the other movies. True. Again, you're gonna hate my review for the next one.
Why? Oh no, I guess I'll find out later.
Yeah, we'll find out here momentarily.
Yeah, but I'll give you my review right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. We're waiting.
2.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's a goddamn 2. Listen, practical effects are cool.
Yeah.
And it's movie magic, but it's not what a movie is all about.
No, I get that.
It's just not.
But it's a slasher.
You got to have a movie is supposed to be a story.
Yeah.
And that story is dumb and boring. It is for me the practical effects and the Freddy funny stuff that keeps it for me. But and the Dawkins song.
Yeah, and again, I like some of the team.
But it's a 2, dog. It's the worst one I've seen yet.
Damn.
Bitch.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine.
Yeah. Not even Lawrence Fishburne could pull me out of the Matrix on that one, dog.
Oh, man. Well, hey, did you enjoy Dreamwear? Is this your favorite film? Is it your 2? Is it your 1? Tell us, man, because I think it got a good spectrum from us. Yeah. Pat liking it more, me kind of coming into the middle, Dylan not liking it so much. So that's a really good fucking, I like that. Yeah. I like when we have differing opinions on the show.
Me too.
And we don't all agree.
Yeah.
But moving on to part 4. Oh,
You want to let
Dream
Dawkins take us into the
you know what? That's right, brother. Thank you, brother, for letting me know, reminding me. Let's go ahead and let Dawkins fucking bring us into the new world. Oh, just that's how the movie ends. Oh yeah, baby. We're just a bunch of dream warriors. You know?
Yeah.
That's all we are in life.
Get me out of that dream, please.
That's all we are. We're just a bunch of dream warriors fighting our life through this hellscape that we live in that's called reality. But no, guys, we're moving on. We're moving on to A Nightmare on Elm Street, Part 4, The Dream Master.
Mm-hmm.
And Jesus fucking Christ, did I hate this fucking movie. Oh man, yeah. Let me just give you a little bit. Hold on. Let me just get the listeners a little taste of what we're dealing with here. The storyline, guys, following up the previous Nightmare film, the dream demon Freddy Krueger is resurrected from his apparent demise and rapidly tracks down all 3 of the surviving Elm Street kids. However, Kristen Parker soon realizes that Freddy is taking advantage of that unknown power. I'm pretty sure it's pretty fucking well known. Yeah. She now wields to power a new group of teenage children into his foul domain. Can she finally defeat Freddy, or is it too late? Different person plays Kristen.
Yeah,
different actress.
No one knows why.
Different person.
Back. There's
because the movie sucked.
Well, apparently, from other people like producers, they said that she didn't come back because of she was either. I think someone said she was pregnant, and
I mean it's possible.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
they got a very good fucking person to like fill in. Like she wasn't like a huge stark difference. I mean, you put a pasty white blonde chick in a fucking film. It's about a dime a dozen.
No, she looked noticeably wildly different.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
No, it was more noticeable. It was way more noticeable.
I don't want to talk too much about that.
Is it more as noticeable as Rhodey from Iron Man 1 to 2?
Well, I mean, you know who Terrence Howard and Don Cheadle are.
Yeah.
So it's like that's a little different than like, you know,
I agree.
one white blonde woman to the next. You know, this one had like, yeah, I don't want to get too into it, but
well,
listen,
yeah,
go ahead, Pat. Just go ahead.
Well, and then there's other rumors that that the studio was not going to pay I forgot the actor's name from the first one or the original Kristen, but that they weren't going to pay her the
Patricia
amount
Arquette.
Yeah, they weren't going to pay her the amount that she wanted to come back. Which again, it's like
she's not Robert Englund.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, she doesn't have that much
the real
weight.
Star of this whole franchise is Robert Englund.
Yeah, because they tried that shit with him and it didn't work.
Yeah. Well, and again too, I think that was like her first film that she did was Dream Warriors. There's other rumors too that she was involved in other movies and the scheduling conflict. There's a lot. There's no defiant answer for why she didn't come back. But the fact
it doesn't bother me that much because she wasn't a phenomenal actress in the third movie. No. So like, it's not like I was itching for her fucking performance in this fourth movie. Nor do I think it would have mattered anyways because spoiler alert, she fucking dies pretty early on in the movie. I will say this. Who in the right fucking mind decided that the way Freddy comes back is because a dog named Jason peed fire on his grave? What the fuck?
When that happened, I said, I am so in. I'm like, I'm so in. I'm so in. Listen, that part right there gripped me in a way that Dream Warriors could not.
Oh my
that was
God.
I was like, this is it.
Oh my God, if he gives
This one's gonna fucking rock.
Review, I'm gonna flip.
Oh,
flip.
you
Because
better flip. You better start flipping
as
like fucking
soon-
Kristen in the dreams. You better start flipping.
As soon as the dog pissed and Freddy came back, I was like, "Welcome to hell, motherfucker!" Because I was like, "What the fuck, dude? This makes no sense."
Yeah.
Like, Pat texted me and was like, "Dog piss," and I was like, "What?" He's like, "That's how Freddy comes back." I'm like, "Who designed that?"
Not just dog piss,
Flaming
unholy fire dog piss that tears the earth asunder, a fault line into the fucking concrete, which fucking releases Freddy. Oh, mwah. This is chef's kiss. It's incredible.
I can't see if he's trolling because
No,
there's
no,
way.
it's-
No, he's
no.
fucking serious.
No, I'm serious because what fucking value do you want from this? You know what it is. I've never seen this movie and I know what it is. I'm
This
just along for the
movie-
ride. My expectations are low. The bar is not hard to jump over.
Listen,
I'm ready to have fun. And that's just what I had.
I mean, I had fun watching it. I laughed a lot, and I think
Yes.
this guys at this point, the dark, scary world is gone.
Yeah.
This whole movie is bright, lighthearted, funny. People die, but like again, we don't see anything in the real world. Like we just see it happen in the dream world, and it annoys me. I know that it makes sense, Patrick, that he's trying to hide.
Well, in this one, it makes no fucking sense. In Dream Warmers, it makes sense. Dream Master, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Why is nothing happening from the dream world into the reality? Also,
Kincaid and Joey are tired of Kristen's bullshit, and they're like, "Stop pulling us into your fucking dreams. Freddy's dead. We beat him. Get a fucking life with your boyfriend with this crazy fucking hair." With their abusive, drunken father. Because again, here we are: bad mother, bad dad, bad mother, bad dad. Just
Coming
fucking
in.
keep it
I'm like, what? Also, what was she wearing that was so like not appropriate? I'm like,
She was wearing
Yeah.
a cardigan and a full-on dress.
She looked like a pilgrim.
yeah.
Straight
Not
up.
an inch of skin was showing. What are you fucking wearing? You fucking cook in this goddamn house. You
No harlot,
goddamn
whore of my
harlot.
daughter of mine's going out in a fucking dress
Dude.
past her ankles,
God.
you know? And I mean, I wrote in my notes, the dog pissed fire and hell opened up. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, I knew it.
They
Also,
I
wrote
did
that
like-
line after doing a straight line, huge
Dude,
line
yes,
of coke.
yes,
They
yes,
ripped
yes.
the line. They're like, yes, dude.
Listen,
Dog piss, fire, hell.
and I am going to throw this out here. Another quote from the beginning of the movie. I just want to get it out there because I've mentioned it every movie.
Yeah.
The quote is from Job 4, verse 13, 14.
It's
So a
job.
Bible verse.
This job, dude.
Oh, a job.
This is fucking job.
Steve Job 4, 13, 14. When deep sleep falleth on men, fear come upon me and trembling,
Come.
which made all my bones shake.
Yeah.
Come.
Don't know what that has to do with the movie. Probably nothing, but I've said all the quotes, and if there's going to be more quotes than the other movies, I'm going to say them. I will say this though. That was in the dream though, right? The dog pissing fire?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because they back up and everyone and who is it? Who's trapped in the junkyard?
Kincaid.
Kincaid,
Jason,
yes.
The dog Jason is Kincaid's.
Yes. So, and when they back up and he's like, where is everybody? Oh no, Freddy's back. And they back up and the whole planet is a junkyard.
That was cool.
Fucking hard, dude. Yeah.
That was-
Junkyard
this movie has
Planet
some
sounds like
fun
a
stuff,
sick
but then it
fucking like death
loses
metal
me.
album.
Yeah. No, it definitely did. I even like wrote a note and was like, fool, is this a fucking metal album cover? Like,
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
so I do like the way Kincaid was like killed, even though we don't see it. And I do like the way Joy was killed.
I will.
Yeah. Joey. Yeah.
Joey's is.
Joey's
Trust
death
me,
was
Joey.
pretty brutal.
That'd have got me too. Sexy lady in the waterbed,
Yeah.
tits out. I'd be like, well, this is I'd be like, well, this is an interesting dichotomy.
Joey's
Talk
like
about a
he's
wet
fucking
dream.
2-for-1, man. He's 2-0. He is like naked chicks galore.
That's his weakness.
This one horny motherfucker. Like, can
Yeah.
someone please someone touch his pee worm and make him stop being so horny?
I do love the line though. How's this for a wet dream? Oh my god! Again, I knew it. I was like, it's the one-liners are getting better, and everything's getting wackier. And oh man, I had a big grin on my face.
Oh man, I really don't like. I don't really know like what happens in this movie. Like we're introduced to obviously Kristen, Kincaid, and Joey. And then we have Kristen's boyfriend. Then we have
Alice.
the boyfriend's sister, Alice, who's a daydreamer.
Which is cool. Yeah.
She's a daydreamer. And then we have badass chick with the 80s hair who's eating
the weightlifter who hates
the
roaches.
weightlifter.
Yeah.
Then we have the geek girl who rides the moped, and then we have a jock. Dylan, you have a jock in this movie.
I do, and I love him.
You have a jock in this movie. Dylan.
Yes, and this is something that this movie gave me that Dream Warriors did not. It gave me a hunky beef man jock to like want to high five and throw a football with him.
I do appreciate the foreshadowing of certain characters.
Yeah.
So what's her? I cannot remember the geek girl's name, but
Melvin.
like it was very Melvin was very
Melvin too.
Her name's Melvin. The inhaler, like she has asthma. The weightlifting chick, Sam, I think her name is.
They put both her.
She hates
She
roaches.
found a roach in her food, and so I did like those cool little caveats that they put into the movie. I think that was done well.
Yep.
I think what my problem is like final act type of stuff. I think the beginning part of the movie I did enjoy. I just have problems with the way like the kill scenes. Again, very cool.
Yeah.
Kincaid, we really didn't see it, but being trapped in a junkyard planet, it's fucking metal. Joey being drowned in his bed and his mom finding him. Like, how do you explain? Like, how do you?
Dude. Yeah.
How do you explain that? Then how do you, as a cop, try to like even wrap your fucking head around that? Like,
and how do you end up in a waterbed?
There's no water on the floor.
Yeah. I just wrote that you got to roll with it.
Yeah.
I was like, how does that happen? I guess you just got to fucking roll with it. Also, the hospital scene after the nurse is clearly Robert Englund in drag.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm like, that's Freddy Krueger because that motherfucker looks just like Robert Englund in like makeup and a wig and I love that too. I love that so much because it's like such a cool little like put this in the movie. Like why pay or like why have a different woman and then it's Freddy when it's just Robert Englund who turns into Freddy. I was like, that's great. I love that a lot.
Who pulled that? Who pulled that into their out of their hat for a movie? Christopher Nolan in The Dark Knight.
Oh yeah,
with Heath Ledger as the Joker when he dresses up as the nurse.
yes, 100%. Also. I wrote, I said, I love the pro jock propaganda in the Elm Street series.
Yeah.
like I'm here for it. They got me brainwashed,
he's a
dude.
hot hunk of man. Whatever she says.
Like, ooh, shove that nerd in the closet. Ooh, whip him with a wet towel. Pull his pants down in front of the whole school. Please.
Do it, motherfucker. Well, rub my nipples.
Alice is just daydreaming. She's just fucking Van Halen blared in the background. Fucking
no.
But Pat, tell us your thoughts, brother.
Yes. My only having characters from a different movie before come back. It's cool, and they had really good deaths. I just think it was like very rushed to kill those characters off to bring into the new characters, which aren't bad. And their deaths too are really good too. I just wish we did spend more time with like Joey and Kristen and Kincaid.
Yeah,
but it also makes it like nobody's safe type of way because they are the heroes. They are the surviving heroes of the last movie. Yeah, and I mean at least Kristen goes pretty brutally.
She gets
in a way. Yeah, she gets thrown into the fire, and
they all three of them went through fucking crazy deaths. So,
and that's one.
Yeah.
Like, finally, we're starting to see again. It's like they pick and choose who they want to show being killed in the real world, and violently. Like we see Christian's body on fire. We see Joey's drowned body. I get. I don't think we see Sam's. Do we?
Who's Sam?
God, I'm trying to remember. Is it Sam, the weightlifting chick?
Is that her name?
Or no?
We don't see her body.
Well, you don't see her body because she turns into a roach and Freddy squashes.
Right, but he's saying that's a dream death. We don't see her like
that's
how
a dream
she dies
death.
in
What
the
is how she died in the real world? They
Unlike
pick
we
and
see
choose
Melvin
in this
get,
movie.
you want to suck face, and then
And one of the fucking so we see her
Yeah.
literally fucking get zoinked into nothing, and then but it makes sense like why her body in the real world would be the normal because like she
Well,
stopped
Kristen,
breathing.
when Kristen was set on fire in the dream world, they opened the door. She was on fire in real
she was
life.
barbecuing.
Also,
She
not to mention, maybe the
beans
worst
on her.
mother of all. Like for some reason, like Kristen's mom takes just fucking pedal to the metal. Like, oh, I drugged your water so you can go to sleep.
she's like, "You killed me. You're dead. You
Yeah, like
killed me."
you killed me.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then
The parents
Kristen
are always bad.
Kristen burned alive, and then fucking learning is fun with Freddy.
Yeah,
that was fun.
Yeah,
that was fun.
dude, I love that so much. And then also, I wanted to put out the actor that played Rick, which was the girl's brother who was dating Kristen.
yeah,
I think he looks like a mix of like young Robert Downey Jr. and Rory Culkin.
yeah.
Really mixed up together. But also I was like, this guy's had to have been in something else because he's really charismatic and he's good.
Yeah.
Like I think his acting is good, his charm is good. He's got that late 80s like kind of a Robert Downey Jr., Judd Nelson type part about him. He was in two things that I thought I was worth mentioning. He was in the video game Night Trap. Did any of y'all ever play Night Trap?
Nope.
I don't think so. I'd have to see it before I.
Night Trap is like it's like it's not like a choose your own adventure. It's a weird game, but it's kind of like Five Nights at Freddy's, where like you control these video cameras throughout a house,
I'm
and
looking at
everybody
it right now. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, it's like you control these cameras in a house, and it's like full motion video. That was huge back in those days.
Yeah, it was also
And it's like they're being chased by vampires, and you got to go on the right camera to save them. But the vampires use a machine to suck people's blood out. It's really fucking weird.
Yeah, it was.
But he's also in a movie called Sorority Babes in the Slimeball Bolorama.
I've seen that one.
God damn it.
I've seen that one.
No, you haven't. Have you seen that?
Too. I've seen that on the internet.
You watched that movie on the internet? No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
That one before Backdoor or after Backdoor?
No. And I don't really. I saved the article here, or I saved the IMDb. Oh no. Don't click that. Don't click that.
AMDB.
I'm not going to click it in case it
Close
fucking
tab,
takes me out of Riverside. I'm not going to click on that. But
click it. It's fine. It won't take you out of River.
yeah, I'm not clicking on that. But yeah, no, I should have just copy and pasted the plot in here. But basically, yeah, I don't know what it's about, but I mean, from the title, Sorority Babes in the Slimeball Bolorama. It had a 4.6 on IMDb. So like I don't think it's anything worth checking out or watching or investing into, but this man did not have much of a career after Dream Master. Shocker, I know, but
Dude, as part of a sorority ritual, pledges and their male companions steal a trophy from a bowling alley. Unbeknownst to them, it contains a devilish imp who makes their lives a living hell. Holy fuck, we're watching this.
okay, perfect. There we go.
Dude, this looks fucking amazing.
There we go.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yep, this is coming down. This is probably one of them bonus episodes we do. So
you know what we should do?
Time to subscribe to
We should
Patreon.
call our bonus. We should do like terrible movies as bonus episodes,
100%.
and we'll call them Schlock Rock episodes.
I love it.
Schlock Rock.
Yes. Sir.
Yeah,
Yes.
I like that a
Since you
lot.
mentioned his death, because it's lame. It's very lame.
fucking kung fu fighting.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
There's a reason for why.
Well, they set that shit up good.
Yes, they did, but it was very much the making of this movie. They did not. They didn't have a finished script. They were just literally doing it by.
It shows.
Yes. His death scene was very much. They ran out of money, and they were like, "Well, we already did the funeral scene, so we have to give him a death scene." His original death scene was supposed to be in the elevator, but instead they bring it back to he like karate and shit, and come.
And I did watch Karate Kid 15,000
that's
times.
it. So they just did, and it's an invisible Freddy, which just tells you
He just knows how to kick him.
and then
God, that's when I started hating this movie.
yeah.
At that point, I started having problems with the movie. when Rick dies, and then Kristen dies and gives Alice her power, and then Alice has the powers after everyone else dies, so she's just a being who's able to
you gave the powers to bring people to the dreams to the fucking daydreamer. So
I know, but that's cool. That's cool. They've never done They've never done daydreams.
Yeah.
Why couldn't he get him in daydreams? Like, why not? If he's like, if he can get you in your dreams, what is a day?
2 doors, and one guardian guards the negative, and one guardian guards the positive. And the positive are the daydreams, and the negative are the nightmares.
There you go.
Yeah.
See?
That's what it is. And
it makes
Freddy
sense.
That's why Freddy goes, I've been guarding my door for a long time, bitch. And it's like,
did he say
Freddy
bitch or not? You don't know and you don't care because he probably did.
like he have to. Like it's Freddy. He has to say bitch. But I like the idea of there being the daydreams.
Yeah.
I think that's cool. I just think that this whole fucking like armor of God bullshit that they put on in this movie is ridiculous.
I think it's sick. I think it's sick as fuck. You're gonna tell me
you watched Alice put on all of her friends.
We're getting so far ahead. We're getting so far ahead.
Dylan, I'm on a fucking rampage, okay? Listen, she puts all of this shit on and you're telling me that was cool?
Yes.
Fuck out of here.
She's like Dream Rambo, dog. That shit was tight.
The lamest fucking scene I've ever seen in my entire life.
No.
Back me up.
No, she was adding stat bonuses, dog. She had her fucking wrist accessories and her secondary weapon. Like she had her chest armor, she had her headband.
I was waiting for a power glove to come on.
Oh no,
dude,
the power glove comes in I think 5 or 6. So you get the Freddy power glove.
I don't understand also how I've never seen a funeral get set up so quick in my whole life in a movie.
Literally hours after he dies.
Than all of the Elm Street
one
series.
Thing I did like when it comes to
what'd you say?
Yeah, you were breaking up.
Oh, was I? Yeah, for some reason the stream every now and then you both will freeze for like 10 seconds. I don't know why.
Say it again.
But I've never seen a funeral get set up so fast in my entire life.
Yeah.
You know, like it's literally Rick dies the next day. Everybody's at the graveyard. It's just like, has your son been murdered by a pedophilic dream monster? Well, come get your funeral done in 24 hours.
Yeah, they have a whole package deal
like
for Freddy
it's
deaths.
a whole package deal. Yeah, we'll turn them and burn them in our own crematorium for half off.
A practical effect that I love, though, is right before Kristen gives the powers to Allison, when Freddy reveals that his body is made of the children that he has consumed. It's inspired. That's inspired our promo for the drawing I did for our Freddy marathon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and when he consumes a soul or he talks about it, he goes, "I love soul food," and I'm like, "That's so sick." And then I said, "Oh no, not the soul pizza."
Yeah, given to you by Black Magic Pizza.
Yeah, if the food don't kill you, the circus will.
Effects, right? Like the movie has some, as all of these movies will always have great practical, not great all the time, but it will have a good budget for practical effects. I just think overall story plot, I have an issue with Dream Warriors, but I also have an issue with this because it just seems so bizarre. And I know that it's Freddy and it's weird and there's a dream monster.
No, but this one has a weak, because the script wasn't done before filming, has a very weak screenplay and weak.
How are you not going to talk about the whole movie theater scene? That theater scene was cool.
That was sick as shit.
The whole marquee saying "Lost Burning Youth" on it, and they're playing Reefer Madness.
Yeah.
And then the whole thing where like she gets sucked into the screen and she's in the theater, but she doesn't notice it, which is very dreamlike.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But all the very few people that are in that room or in the theater with her are all of her friends and family that have died.
Yep.
And she doesn't acknowledge it because it's like it's a dream. Listen, and then she gets to the other side of the screen and it's black and white and she turns around and they all stand up and start clapping. And I thought that was fucking creepy.
No, so the scenes of within the movie are cool because there's no dialogue in that sequence, right? It's just a sequence of things happening.
No, and that's what
those are cool.
Those were the things.
That's what the movie does really well.
Yeah.
The diner getting sucked into the fucking from the theater into the screen, like all of that stuff is cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's the overarching story that I have a huge problem with this movie.
I agree with you, Mike. Because again, the sequences were pre-planned by the director. He had great ideas for these sequences. He used inspired from his own dreams and stuff like that. Like the movie theater scene was famous for what the director was like. I envisioned this and I wanted to put this in the movie.
Yeah.
But the sequences in between those parts, it's weak for me. And again, I do praise this movie for the practical effects. And this is also the best looking Freddy we've gotten.
I mean, I wish his sweater was a little bit darker.
I mean, yes, but I'm talking the burn, the flesh, and again the
gross.
lighting. A lot of the dream sequences is in like a red and green lighting, and it looks good for Freddy.
I'm sure Dylan loved Freddy with sunglasses. Because
did I ever love Freddy with sunglasses?
Or even before that, fucking Freddy Shark.
The
Freddy Shark.
Yeah. Great sequence of events. If you my thing is, if you're watching these Freddy movies, take away any substance of the story plot, just put it on in the background and just like watch, or consistency. Just watch the effects and the cool scenes that happen from time to time, and you'll have fun. If you're here for substance and plot, no,
just watch the first one. The first and the last.
If you
one.
want that, watch the first
just
one.
Watch any of the ones that were written by and directed by
but
Wes
you
Craven.
can't say. You can't say that, but you'd have to say that about 2 and 3 as well. They don't get off scot free. Their shit's just fucking convoluted and stupid as this one.
But 2 has a better.
But Pat's going to give Dream Warrior a 4.5. I just don't.
You're not going to.
I don't.
You don't know
I
my
don't
review.
see it.
You don't know my rating for this one.
But you want to talk about practical effects?
Yeah, I've been praising this movie for this practical effects.
Because the whole roach scene's crazy.
God, the fucking,
and then not to mention
the fucking,
but then
breaking her fucking hands or her her fucking elbows, and then turning into the fucking roach. You know, it's again fucking
Frank Kafka rolled in his grave when that scene happened.
For me,
God damn.
For
it's
me,
fucking Cronenberg. It's fucking The Fly.
Yeah,
100%. And for me, Freddy at the end when he meets his demise, when Alice does the armor, the black metal slap bracelet that gives her plus 20 to stamina.
Stop.
And she gets like all of her gear on.
And she's just,
listen,
I know how to fight karate now.
She does. She brought nunchucks into the fucking dream world, dude. She was ready to go. Alice is a bad bitch through and through.
Lame.
She went into so you're going to praise Nancy for going into the dream world and facing him head on, but not Alice?
Well, she didn't have
dude.
armor and fucking
like fucking dude. No, listen. I'm sorry. Alice was that shit was badass. She learned she used the kung fu she learned from her dead brother to fight back. She
acquired it from his soul.
But she used all of the things of her friends that Freddy took from her. There was a piece of each of her friends that gave her the strength to attack Freddy head on in his own world. Mm-hmm. And with that, it was so much better than Dream Warriors. So much better. Oh, listen. I'm a chick with switchblades, and I'm a lame, nerdy Melvin wizard, and I can do flips. I can run up the wall and do a backflip. All she did was
flips and kicks.
She beat his ass. What are you talking about? She shot him with the. She shot him with Melvin. With Melvin.
Ghostbusters blaster.
Fucking Ghostbusters blaster.
Yeah, dude. She Rambo'd up and went in there and fucking took house. And then not to mention
Kevin McAllister his ass.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that she was bad, but I'm also saying that if you're going to praise her for being a bad bitch to take things head on, you got to give Alice her props too.
I'm giving Allison her props.
Right.
I haven't said shit.
Not to mention,
I hated the armor sequencing. I thought it was lame.
Yeah. But the whole movie's lame. The whole movie is lame. If you're just realizing that by the armor scene, where have you been the whole time? That's that movie.
Having a great time watching a cinematic masterpiece.
That's right.
That is
That's exactly
A
it.
Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4 Dream Master.
That's exactly right. Because I
No.
will say this. This is the movie. This has the best way Freddy has been killed yet.
Yes, I agree with you.
That's
This
true.
and look,
He is
and when we
being
get to-
torn apart from the souls. But all the souls he has consumed their arms are branching out of his body and ripping him to shreds, literally from the inside and outside out. He's being torn apart by the souls he's consumed, and that is practical effects.
Yeah.
It was marvelous.
Dude, when
Marvelous,
they ripped
marvelous,
out his
marvelous.
fucking like from his mouth over, and then you see this whole
Oh.
all the
Oh,
That was
dude.
good.
Not only that, the visual of what is inside of his body looks like when there's all the children and all the people like reaching out and shit. It's fucking nightmarish. It's fucking crazy. And again,
Yes.
me praising these movies for having the best practical effects in any of the slasher movies. Next to you know what? Fuck it. It's better than Hellraiser at this point. Yeah. Well, look.
Oh, yeah.
I watch all those fucking Hellraiser movies, Mike.
Okay. You got to say the franchise. You
Yeah,
can't just say Hellraiser.
No, but Hellraiser did. Look, the rebirth Freddy scene.
Yeah.
That this movie crawled so Hellraiser can walk.
Yes, I agree.
There you go.
because
I don't know, man.
because after the
I think we
dog
can give
piss
it a
scene
review.
and Freddy turns back, like the practical effects of him coming back together was sick.
No, totally. I just don't understand who read that and was like, "Yeah, this
Dog
makes
piss.
sense. Let's agree
Well,
with this
yeah.
shit."
Besides
Just
the
people
dog
all
piss,
coked out of their fucking minds are just like, "Let's fucking go." Flame dog piss brings back Freddy. That's amazing.
And let's face facts here. I haven't seen Jason 4, so I don't really know. But if you're going to talk about Halloween 4 or like Hellraiser 4,
okay.
I would say that, Nightmare on Elm
It's part
Street
of the-
4 is A-O fucking
no.
K.
When you compare it to the other fours in the other franchise, it's the best. The best
Well,
four.
and even if you
there
Yes.
is.
even if you compare all these sequels in comparison of other slashers, these movies have gotten
It's the humor silliness factor of it, plus the horror and the gore. And it gives you everything you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think we can, and listen,
Wait till we get to 6.
I
then
think-
you'll change your mind.
listen, when Dan the jock,
The jock, yeah.
was so supportive the whole time and listened to her. Again, maybe for other reasons, like all the others have. But
Nah,
when
he
I'll
seemed
tell
like
you
he was
what,
genuinely concerned.
listen, I was
don't
like, if
think
Dan
I don't think
dies,
he needs pussy that bad.
I was like, if Dan dies, I will. Yeah, he was like an actual good guy. He wasn't in it to get her into bed. He was in it because I believe he's a good man. I believe it in my heart
Every jock's a good.
that
there's
this
a good
man is
in every
the
jock.
best jock of them all. He's the best jock of them all. And when he got pulled out of the dream, I'm like, oh, thank God he's safe. Oh, thank God he's safe. Like he got pulled out of harm's way. And then Alice took care of it all on her own. She didn't need no one. She didn't need no man to help her. She did it all on her own. And she fucking led us to the greatest Freddy death I've seen yet.
Yeah.
And I think, and I can confidently say that talking about this movie is going to make me give it an even better rating than I was going to give it beforehand.
Well, yeah. What's that, Dylan?
Do you want me to
What
go
were
ahead
you-
and do it?
Go ahead. Fuck yeah.
I'm not gonna go overboard here because I do realize what it was. I'm gonna give it. I'm tweeting between 3.5 and 4.
Okay.
Because I will say this: I gave the first Nightmare on Elm Street a 4.
Same. I think we all did.
I give it a 5.
This is my favorite Freddy. 4 is my favorite one yet.
Hell yeah.
Really?
4 is my
Okay.
favorite.
I'm not surprised.
All right.
4 is that you remember in Scream
Yeah,
when
remember
all the kids at the party were sitting around watching Halloween and they were all laughing and everyone was having fun.
Yeah.
That's what this movie is.
Well, that's the thing about a lot of these.
It's a movie you put on with your friends during Halloween time, and you all crack jokes, and you all go, "Oh God!" You all shriek together. You all like your stomachs turn together. You laugh together. You quote all the Freddy lines. This is like a quintessential October. Get up with your friends. Everybody make some food. Have a little potluck. Somebody makes bring some drinks, and like everybody kind of hang out and just put this on, and everyone just sits and has a good time.
Yeah.
That's what this movie really provides. Not really in a way that I don't think Dream Warriors does, because I feel like Dream Warriors takes itself a little too seriously at times
Well, that's
when it has no right to do so. Sometimes it's very tone deaf. This movie is not tone deaf. Is the plot not
it's loud.
really good? Yeah, it's not. It's really not. But in a
That's why
movie
John
like
likes
this,
it.
that's like going to Burger King and being like, "Where's my filet mignon?" It's like if you're going into something, you've got to have your expectations at a certain point. For me, Dream Warriors has been so hyped up by everybody,
Yeah.
it just didn't do
agree.
it. Nobody hyped up for nobody.
No, that's true.
So I
No
went
one
into
hypes
it being
up
like,
for it.
I can't, because Mike's like,
has
just
a-
get ready, dude. You're gonna want to fucking stick your head in a toilet bowl and drown. And then I watch it and I'm like, what's everyone complaining
Well,
about?
I
This is the
praised-
fun.
What if I
Time.
already watched it and I was just setting you up for fucking for a ride?
Yeah.
And it was, and I'm
Because I
telling you,
have my issues with the plot, but there's certain things I don't like, but it's still like again, all of the series of events that happen are fucking bad.
Well, that's why when-
it's a 4 for
Shark
me.
Freddy,
It's a
Shetty-
4. It's a 4.
Freddy with glasses, the diner scene, the movie theater scene,
The roach,
fucking
the suck
croaker,
face, the
like,
movie
all of
theater.
Those cool things are so good
Yeah.
that it makes it a fun movie to watch.
Right.
I hate the way they chose like the Dream Master door pathways that but I get it. I just feel like it could have been done better or explained better than what it did. Like they just have a teacher who's half-ass reading some bullshit off a fucking overhead projector and then all this shit. It's just, I think that they could have refined it a little bit more and it would have made a cooler story. And yes, I don't like the fucking the power up scene with all the stuff, but it's very 80s, right?
I know.
It's a
That's what
very
makes it great.
80s thing.
This makes it great.
And as soon as it happened, I was like, holy shit, an 80s power up montage. Like that's literally what I told Issa when we were watching it together. But no, I still had fun watching it. I was laughing the entire fucking time.
Yes.
It was happening.
Yes.
The breaking the arm scene is disturbing.
Yes.
Like it's a fun movie. It's a 3.5 for me. Like I don't like the story.
I
but
respect
it's a
it.
3.5.
I respect a 3.5.
Based
I feel like that's the best
Yeah.
that I mean, again, I was teetering 3.5. I feel like that movie, because I liked it more than the first one.
I definitely think it's slept on. I think more and more people need to watch it and appreciate for what it is and just kind of try to like ignore the story that's being told to you because it's kind of ridiculous and just enjoy the crazy shit Freddy does to people.
Yes.
No, I
Pat?
give it. I also give it a 3.5. I'm catering to that to a 4, on mostly the fact again the Freddy death scene, and again when we were deciding to break up the episodes, and I told you we got to reschedule for making 3 and 4 together because it is such a perfect package.
Yeah, I mean, you have
It is, yes.
And I knew that going into it because again, these two are the most ones I watch majority than the other sequels. Yeah,
5 and 6 are coming.
I'm dreading it because again, when we get to Freddy's death, this is way more appropriate Freddy's death than what we actually get with Freddy's number 6. No, sorry, 6. 6 is Freddy's death.
Yeah. All right. So well-rounded discussion, I think.
Yeah.
We've had a fucking very well-rounded discussion of Dream Warriors and the Dream Master. We really do want to hear your guys' thoughts on these movies. And if you're watching them with us, having rewatched Dream Warriors, does it still live up to your hype? Do you have a new respect and love for the Dream Master?
Yeah.
Tell us your favorite scenes, your favorite kills. Plan ahead. We're going to be doing 5 and 6 next. So that's what Dream Child and Freddy's Dead. So, prepare yourself for those movies.
Yes.
But it's coming close to an end. It's 2 more weeks, and then we're gonna get to New Nightmare, which is a film that stands alone by itself and reamps the franchise. So continue to subscribe to our podcast, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on TikTok. We're trying to get to 1,000 followers on the TikTok so that we can go live. And then what that means is like us going live before the show, playing video games live, all of this cool shit that we want to do for you guys. Make sure to leave us a review. It does help the show get put out there for other people to find, and also share it with your friends. If you enjoy it, I'm sure your friends will enjoy it. We're a bunch of funny,
Tell your mom about
overly
it.
sweaty. Yeah, dude, your mom will totally love us. But until next time, guys, I'm Mike.
I'm Pat.
And I'm Dylan.
Stay weird and don't fall asleep with the lights off.